And we are on the internet. Hello again, where we try to roll dice and try to tell a story with each other. Because, yeah, air quotes, the struggle bus is real. Also, thank y'all for the hosts. Appreciate y'all. Um, Something's going to be happening, so we're going to wait on that. But we're going to have JD go ahead and update us on the last one that might kind of tie something super awesome that's going to take place.
So I find it kind of funny. Every week you're like, "Take it away," or it's, "Hey, why don't you have somebody give us a recap?"
I
And
mean, I
it's Andy
can,
and
but
it's
I
Sarah,
figured
and
since it's up to you.
but you always kind of dodge out of it. So why doesn't Hutch give us a recap?
Okay,
Oh, recap
so
from
here's
Hutch.
exactly what happened. We were we were in Rayori. We ran around for an hour and a half chasing goose egg. We went to Nam Ro where I had a conversation with Kokoth. After we fought this weird jelly monster that was a squid thing. When the squid thing died, it dropped an egg. Inside the egg, Kokoth told us, is a celestial type being going by the name of Toric. And it's basically when this creature dies, it's basically reborn, and this is kind of how it's brought back into the world. And that is pretty much the short version, straight to the point of what happened.
We almost ate red herring. That was important.
Yeah, that was the goose egg that we chased.
Yeah, chasing around a red herring. I feel like
We
there
went-
was something else in
we went-
Rayori, but I can't.
We also came across Andy's their doppelganger thing. The doppelganger thing was a female, and she was dead when we found her. And the goose egg that we chased was, we thought this neighbor of hers was actually the culprit that murdered her, and that led us around to an hour and a half goose egg chase of Hutch dressing up as a beautiful woman with a sore throat, and basically spending time with this guy that was actually really really nice. It's my throat, sorry. But we never found the person that murdered this other Andy, as it were.
Yeah, I think that's most everything. Yeah, that sounds about right. Made it back to Voldon Keep, and
And we've got monster skins to make things out of.
Yep,
Oh,
now we can
yeah.
make armor. That jelly blue thing.
Gotta find somebody who can make it though.
Right.
It doesn't have all the cool eyeballs all over it though, so
No, sadly. But
we
yeah,
could paint them on.
it's the morning after y'all beat the Cartoerba. It's you've had your discussion with Kokoth and had said that, hey, keep it warm, put it in a fire, leave it in the sunlight, see what happens.
Like an egg.
Ish.
Should we roost on it?
Let's just go put it in the oven and leave it there.
So yeah,
Just-
y'all have like if you're going to protect it and keep it and do the thing with it, it's gonna take about a week. So y'all have about a week of downtime to do what you want with. I will say Fire Shield comes up and has a couple of the villagers and everything, and they're helping to repair the keep, and they bring in new lumber and everything, and he helps them. You know, like he offers his assistance in town, and working in the docks or working in the fields, something like that. If they'll help bring supplies and help repair the keep to be at least a basic, wooden structures manor kind of place.
All right, so just for the time being, so everybody is aware as well, we will have some other players joining us here in a little bit. So,
Kisar should be here in a
Mhm.
little bit. Andronicus is going to be here in about an hour and a half. Had to work a little bit later, and we'll talk about the other one in a minute.
what other one? So I guess we'll just kind of play that Kisar and Andronicus are just kind of off doing their own thing. So, let's roll some dice, shall we? All right.
Maybe.
Hi there, Clove. I got a question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
What are your thoughts on giving our friend Fire Shield a little bit more authority than what's been given, as opposed to him watching? It's like, well, is as deep as this guy's contacts go, why don't we see if we can get some of them soldiers to come over and help put this dilapidated, keep air quotes heavy on that one, together a little bit more. You might be able to get some more people here to help this, become more of a thriving area even.
I think that's fair. We could talk to him and ask him if he's got any kind of connections of maybe ex-military folks who are looking for a place to kind of settle down, and they could maybe create their own accommodations on the grounds as a exchange.
I feel that's good. I think we can just say, hey, y'all can camp out here, kind of just make it a safe space, and if they want to put in some work, I reckon at this point there's enough food and stuff that's been farmed and whatnot to at least put some food in their all bellies. You feel me?
Yeah, foods and bellies is good.
Let's go find this guy. We're gonna go look for Mr. Fireshield.
It doesn't take long. Roll a d6.
Rolling a d6.
Find out where he is.
A 2.
He's actually at the keep. He's just getting back to the keep from being out at town this morning.
I didn't think I was supposed to roll, but I just felt excited about rolling, so I did. I got a 5.
He was actually working in the fields this morning, helping with the some plowing and stuff, getting another field ready to be sowed. That's where he's.
But
been.
I spotted him first.
Sorry, I mean stepping over his toes. I will give you the credit. You have a eye like a hawk there, friend.
Also, I still remember that you and Kisar owe me favors.
That is also true. And as long as it is within my means, I will be happy to help you with that favor delivery. Sometimes words are difficult, and I do apologize.
So yeah, he comes walking up. He's got his beard kind of strapped around, and his shield's on his back. He just comes walking up like it's mid morning, and he's been working the fields and everything, and he's just happy to be helping. He's just excited to be there.
Hey, Mr. Fireshield, I have a proposition for you.
Yes, sir.
First of all, on behalf of, look at Clove and be like, what is our little group called? The Champions of Vollarune. We'd like to thank you formally for all your assistance and what great work you've been doing around here.
Happy to serve the champions.
We have a proposition for you.
My shield is yours.
Well, we trust you, and you have proven yourself to be most efficient in combat. And it also kind of dawned on us that you probably have some reach within, the military group, and maybe know some people that may be retired, and maybe looking for some work or something like that. I reckon.
How many people are you needing?
It's not so much a need as what you can basically accommodate us with. We have the idea that maybe you might be able to get some people to come over from your neck of the woods, or even from that that camp we was at, and maybe see if y'all could maybe help put this place together a little nice, as opposed to just relying on these awesome little goblin folk and these little town people. Because I mean, a little bit more muscle would be beneficial.
My apologies, sir. There's only so much that we can do with the resources we have here. We can make a nice cabin, but as far as repairing the walls or building any kind of fortifications, we don't have the stone or the manpower.
Do you know who you can reach out to possibly get that? And you can literally speak on our behalf.
Manpower, maybe. But as far as the resources, that would be something that you would have to broker some agreement on with somebody who could provide.
You know anywhere around here that we might be able to broker that agreement with?
Around here, no, but Utrinin does make agreements. Rayori and Utrinin have traded stone for wares for a long time. It's where they get the structures you see, the major fortifications in Rayori are Utrinin stone, not sandstone.
Where is that's actually one place. Hey, Clove, we ain't been to Utrinin yet, have we?
I don't believe so.
Where is that?
Let me check my map.
It is not. So it's the people that you made the original brokered or that trade agreement at the beginning.
And I broke everything.
Ooh, they love us there.
On the map, it's in the far southeast. but it's actually not that far from Rayori by air.
All right, so we're probably not that
Maybe
far.
a week from Rayori by air at most.
Well, is there a way we can reach out to them without physically going there?
Do they have a terminal?
They would. I'm not sure if anybody there would check it, or if it would still be functional. As far as sending a message, I'm sure you could hire somebody to send a message, or hire somebody to run to take a message. But it could take, depending on travel, a couple months.
See, that
to
didn't
get
work
there.
so great for the people that hired us when we went to deliver a trade message. So
Well, I mean, I'm all about setting up like trade and stuff like that, but we don't really have much to offer at this point.
He kind of takes a second, where his beard's kind of pulled around behind it. Instead of stroking the beard here, he's like pulling it like back behind him and following the way it goes. It's kind of normal.
Other than our support, really?
You are the champions.
Yeah, but I don't want to just abuse this power that we've been given. Like I don't want to take. I would like to give too. And other than offering our protection, which sounds ridiculous, I mean, we don't really have much else. Clove, what do you think?
I'm checking out the map here and seeing if we're a good stopping or refueling point for trade. I know Kisar was talking about us being like a stopping point between places. There might be a way that we could talk to them about that.
Where we basically become like a trade hub? And
Yeah, I mean, Polar might be able to help fix or adjust people's ships if they stop here and need something. It could be like a gas station.
I like where this is going, and I just had an idea. What if we have this little cabin situation built, and that could be the office, right? And we basically lease out our land for that exact thing.
You could start a flea market.
Hey, I'm all about it. We'll make some funky looking little necklaces. Like we'll put
Fire
beads in
Shield's
our
over
hair.
on the side, and he's like, "But
I've got these old beanie babies that I really need to sell.
what
They're just collecting dust.
being a go-between in a third-party arbiter,
I mean,
a
we
non-biased third party to broker deals and to make arrangements and to settle disputes."
I mean, that's not a bad idea either. But we would need to have. I mean, I gotta be honest with you, man. Like, I still. And Chloe, feel free to chime in on your own too. Like, it still concerns me that not all people in this area or in this land are going to necessarily agree with what we have been anointed as, and I don't necessarily want to go around toting that. Like, we might have made a name for ourselves, yeah, but I don't know, Clove. You got some input on this?
I feel like a good way to introduce yourself as a new group of people is to try to broker agreement and peace and understanding, and maybe not so much running around attacking people. It'd probably be a faster way for people to feel comfortable with something new. So if we can help do that, then it's worth a try. One thing though is getting in the middle of two people's arguments will get us literally in the middle of the fight. So
Yeah, absolutely.
at some point you might have to pick a side if they're not willing to meet in the middle. So that could cause drama.
Will absolutely. And the problem being is we may also get ourselves in situations where we as friends may not agree with each other, and we need to put that aside and look at this from a business perspective.
We always agree.
Oh, really? That okay. This is his reaction.
So yeah, what do you send him to do? Like I mean, you can get him passage. Polaire can tend to the keep or whatever, and he can kind of put a fork in what he's working on and come back to it with the villagers and everything later.
Well, I reckon the best option would be that Utrinian stone would be step one to getting this keep rebuilt. That's where he said would we should start. At least that's my opinion. Unless Clove, you disagree?
I feel like we could reach out to Neutrinian either through Messenger, Terminal, or both, and then see what they personally need in order to make it worth them giving us stone, and then worry about building up an entire economy from there. Because right now, what we need is the stone to build up the keep. We can't really
Right.
open up a whole like service station if we don't even have a keep. So let's contact them, see what they need in particular, and then go from there. If we can't provide it, then find someone who can and see what they need.
We can try to reach out via terminal, and if nobody responds, we can send our amazing friend over here as a diplomat, as it were, and
So
have him turn it on.
send out a message before the end of the week. It's been like 4 or 5 days.
All this
and-
keeping that egg heated and stuff.
Yeah. No.
I put googly eyes on the egg,
Give me a second.
and it looks really cute.
you don't get any response over those days. You from the distress signal that was sent out whenever all this kind of kicked off, and Polaire sent out the big flash to everything. And there's still being no response from anybody but Davenport in Rayori every once in a while, just kind of an update on the news or happenings, things like that. There hasn't been anything from anybody else.
Well, sounds like we're going to have him go over there. We're going to have him speak on our behalf, which I'm totally fine with, and I trust him in doing so. And have him kind of broker that situation and get back to us at most post haste.
Of course, I'd be happy to do it.
All right.
If I may. And he like pulls out, like reaches to his side and pulls out a little pouch and pulls out a smaller pen and a little piece of paper and starts writing stuff down and everything. When he gets done, it's a very formally written letter from the champions of Voldan to the ruling party of Utrinin, asking for them to send an emissary or some kind of diplomat for an audience here at Voldan.
Sounds good. Take my ring and put my seal on there.
It's just this little rolled up thing with a seal on it now. And he's like, yes. Very good. I'll broker passage and set out immediately.
Sounds good. Oh, look who decided to finally show up. Hey, Sar. Maybe he... You're still muted in Discord. Or wait, I think I might have actually muted you.
Muted him.
I did.
There's a doggy.
He's got Sar has a hairball.
Well, just a bit of a recap. We're sending our fine friend here to go on our behalf to Utrinin to try to broker an agreement to get us some stone to rebuild this keep. And that's pretty much that. He's going to go over there. He's going to check on the terminal while he's there to see if we can all stay in contact without necessarily being there, which would be quite nice. That's basically it.
Kisar is assuming Fire Shield is going?
That is correct.
Right now, the keep, since y'all have been there for a couple weeks with him and everything, he's worked with some of the villagers and gathered cut some logs and everything, and gathered some resources, and got the manor of the keep to be pretty much a log cabin. Anywhere where there's a hole or something that needed repairs, they've got it repaired, and it's a substantial, like it's an actual decent manor now.
Ooh, nice.
There, during the week that we're just chilling and working on the keep, I want to spend some time investigating the flora and fauna and like creatures of the area and see if there's any like bees we can keep or like
interesting.
farming
Ooh,
vegetables we can do, because that could be a way we could make some money. Like if there's a
Okay.
special kind of bee that we can make a special kind of honey
Farm the
that people
land.
might
Yeah, yeah,
want.
yeah.
Okay. Roll. Do you go out and scout out alone?
Kisar would recommend contacting our goblin friends and see if perhaps they could help.
I would go as far as say they would probably be willing to do so. All we need to do is feed them. That's all they care about is food.
I'm sorry, was I supposed to roll something?
No, I'm just asking if you go out. If you go out
Oh,
alone to do this.
Clover, you going by
Or-
yourself?
I think you guys wanted me to stick by somebody because of the whole guild situation. So if someone would like to come with me, that'd be fine.
I mean, I'm down to go if Kisar, if you want to watch our little egg friend and see what's gonna come of that here momentarily. Should be pretty much
It's
next
got
couple
googly
days.
eyes.
Yeah, it's got cute little eyes on it. She put. If you like babysitting, or I can, or you can go. It's up to you, man. I'll
No,
find either way.
Kisar will keep the egg warm.
Sounds good. I will go out because my nature actually I think isn't that bad.
Spice must flow.
I want to be a
Kisar tucks the egg under his shirt.
Keeping it warm.
You should just curl around it like a kitty taking a nap.
Oh God. He bats it around.
No, like in the little noodle, the noodle shape,
Maybe this one.
the kitten noodle.
At that, Kisar digs a
Scramble
small, just like a third of it's in the dirt, and then crawls around on all fours and then curls up around it.
Nice.
Aw.
You gotta walk around in a circle first.
3, 4, 5.
What is he counting? No.
So Kisar does that, but then he looks at Clove and goes, Kisar is not the cat. He is a tabaxi.
Nope, not that. 6, 7, 8. 8? I think I'm at 8. Roll me a d8.
Both or just her?
One of you.
Clove, why don't you go ahead and take that roll?
I shall. God.
That's a 6, it looks like. Oh, no, it
That's
was an
not
8.
bad.
Oh, bummer. All right, never mind.
Oh, it's a 1. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, well, that is
Oh,
problematic.
can I put my investigative glasses on?
I'll do this.
Plus
I'll let
2
Hutch roll as well.
investigation.
You want me to roll with her? And that's a D Ocho?
D8, and I will let you pick which one you want.
Okay.
Oh, pick me.
I will say that it's a random table,
Okay.
and there is no bad roll.
So I got a 4. Do you want to take the 1 or the 4? Call the ball, Clove.
4.
Okay. After looking around, talking to little goblin friends a little bit,
Aw.
talking to the villagers a little bit, and just kind of getting the lay of the land over a couple, over the course of probably most of a full day, you know, or you learn, and after finding it and being like, "Hey, what's this?" and everything, there is a type of silver that's made here.
Ooh, we picked
Or
good.
that's here on the island.
They can like be mined for.
There's not much of it. It's a very rare thing. It would take what you can find on the surface. There are a couple of veins. There may or may not be anything underneath. But it's actually.
We're going to get it out of a warm butt because he said the spice must flow.
Spices flow. There was actually one that was spices. So
Nice.
it's bright silver is what it's called.
And can this be refined? I mean, we have limited resources here, so.
So the difference between this and normal silver is this actually emits a glow. Whenever
Is it considered a
comes
magical component? Would I know that?
in-
Well, I mean, I can
Can
look
be.
at it. Detect magic.
Could be. It's non-magical on its own, but it could be. It glows under moonlight.
Okay. Okay. So like, maybe using like enchantments or something like that. Okay.
And
Maybe we
fancy
can arm
jewelry
werewolves with it.
Yeah.
might have special properties for against undead or werewolves or things like that. More so than normal silver. Would probably be very valuable for people to make jewelry and things of that nature of as well. So
Well, looks like we got some bargaining stuff now. I reckon, Chloe, you might be able to start that flea market you was talking about.
I know. I
Um,
gotta get these beanie babies out of here.
with
I've got the
I would
princess die.
I would say there might be one more resource if y'all want to spend another day of the 5 days looking.
Sure, because we're just waiting for this egg. Both roll d8s again.
Go for it. Pick a number.
I rolled
There
another
can be.
4.
There can be duplicates if you like the numbers.
So we already know what that one was.
No,
I got a 5.
It
A
could be
5.
something different.
Do you want to take the 5 this time? Or do you want to take another 4?
I will say a 4 is a material, and a 5 is a spice.
I think.
Spice must flow.
God, dude, I love Dune.
Did you see the 2-part Dune?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I'll have to look that up.
It's John Hurt.
Yeah, you gotta watch the 2-part Dune.
All right.
Yeah,
I think
those
we
are-
go with the
those are-
spice. I mean,
I don't.
Hush likes the spices. Well, I mean, he did once upon a time.
You pick. I don't know. I'm anxious.
I want to go with the spice.
I just got like really, really anxious for a minute. I was just like, ah.
Let's go with the spice.
Hutch,
Um,
the spice.
Exactly. Or
same
the
thing.
spice.
Walking around, finding things. You see a lot of normal kind of things. You see what you would normally expect to find in mushrooms and things like that. But everywhere in the world has its own thing. After a little bit of time, you see something that you don't recognize. Go ahead and both of you you find something. Go ahead and both of you make a nature roll. See if either one of you recognize it.
a nature. That is a int check. I might not be a smart man, but I did roll a 20.
Why?
I
It
rolled
was-
a
Why do you do this
19.
to me,
Bro, it was a dirty 20, but it was a 19 plus 1.
So
I rolled
what-
real good too.
let me-
She
let me see what
did
yours
22.
I did
Okay.
good.
Well, she rolled a
So
19 too.
Both
Oh.
of you, being from Rayori, Rayori has something that's vaguely similar, but also a little bit different. You have heard of it. It's called Drake Petal.
Drake.
Drake Petal,
Petal.
sir.
And what does this stuff do?
Crap, you rolled really high.
Yeah.
It can be used as a spell component for a lot of fire type spells, things
Okay.
like that. Also, alchemists and more knowledge based people will use it for making traps and explosives and things of that nature.
Clove,
So-
I do think we might be able to start ourselves a little bit of business to get some currency flowing through these parts.
It's a fire
Yeah.
weed.
I'm glad that we investigated this. Are these found generally in specific areas, or are they scattered about?
They're mostly found. So the coast of Voldan, where the village Penrith is and everything, and they have their own little port. Most of the coastline, except for a couple of places, is a pretty steep bluff. Not so much like cliffs of Dover, but more like parts of West Coast, kind of bluffy. The bluffs are very rocky, and it kind of grows alongside of in the bluffs on the rocks. It's not easy to get. You do find a little bit of it up along the top, but the sea spray and the salt in the air and everything gives
With
it
this
better
spice and the way one would start to crew this, is
Mm-hmm.
there a way we can kind of like turn this into like a crop situation so we can have a constant flow of it?
with time
Absolutely.
and a little bit of investment.
Let's take the silver as the investment, and let's take the time from the people in town.
You would have to help either bring in people or provide more resources for the town and help some of the townspeople be able to cultivate this and build a special special plot to where they bring in sea salt or salt water and water it and keep that kind of on hand where it is near enough by that it can grow inland the same way it grows on the coast. Like it would be a pretty big process.
Can we find anyone in town who has some kind of farming experience?
Lots of people.
Yeah, this town would be thriving
That's all
on
it
it
is.
essentially.
It's a very rustic town. Farming, fishing, anything that's made as far as from any kind of craftsman is just they make tools for fishing, they make tools for farming, they make tools for cooking at home and stuff like that. Like there's not really a more infrastructure. They're not making armor or anything like that. They're just making what they need to survive.
I think it'd be awesome if we had like a town hall and let people know that we've found this way to increase like the subsistence of the area, and that we want to see if they would like to participate, and have that be kind of just like an open call for whoever wants to collaborate with us to grow this industry.
I think that it is awesome that we're just kind of, taking some time while we wait for this funky little whatever is popping out of this egg to come out. Also, I just realized that I have not even told you what is supposed to be coming out this egg. So I guess on our way back, maybe we can talk about that. But before we get there, being able to give this small island with this small group of people some value to this land because the stuff that we just stumbled across is, I think that's a big deal for them. I think that's gonna tickle their fancy a bit.
Is there a way we can check on the values of these things, or is that
Where you are, no, you would have to be in contact with somebody elsewhere. Maybe if you wanted to send Davenport a message, but it would be you'd have to explain to him what it is and that kind of thing.
okay?
And even then, it would be he would have to find somebody interested.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Cool.
do we want to tell Davenport about what we just found, or do you kind of want to just keep that between us? Because at this point, right now, only you and me even know this stuff is here.
Let's keep it between us for now, and let's get back and talk about this egg.
All right.
When you get back, you've noticed over the couple days that they've been gone out kind of roaming around and exploring and looking for things. The egg has went from this dull, very almost like intricately carved but natural looking dull basketball sized rock, and it has started to emit this warm glowing, you can't see it but you can feel it when you're close to it, that it's just starting to glow very lightly. And as the day goes on and into the next day, as it goes on more, it's becoming more and more radiant.
Do we pop up back in town on our way back about there? Well, I mean, just to save time, I'm just gonna kind of make this short. I take all the information that was given to me from Kokoth about the egg, about Turek being of a celestial being, basically being reborn essentially as this egg, and just pass the information to the party.
Okay.
So
Yeah, y'all are back.
we might be parents, y'all. I mean, this is wild.
So was he killed when the tentacle monster absorbed him?
Maybe.
I don't understand. How was he brought here as an egg through a tentacle monster that tried to attack us?
That is the exact question that I was trying to get to before my fine patron and lovely now ex-girlfriend just kind of did one of skiddly doos and disappeared. So
She
we
has
don't
a tendency
know.
to do that. I might advise you to choose your romantic partners a little more carefully in the future.
Duly noted. Turns out there's a lot about her that I didn't know about. Like her
Yeah, I
dad
mean-
was, like an angel thing. Her mom was a demon essentially. But hey, that's no big deal, right? That's not a big deal.
Kiss our positive. So Kisar is wants to clarify. It might be an angel, but it might also be one of the one of these things to
No,
pop
no,
out?
no. That's not correct. It is a celestial type being. That is what I was told
So,
correctly.
100% nothing, but none of these is gonna pop out because Kisar did not have the best experience with that last time.
Well,
No, you got eaten by it.
yeah, you
This is a fact.
I mean,
Absorbed.
you got a couple scars, but yeah, it's not one of these. It's gonna be more one of these.
You hope.
At least I was told.
She didn't give you specifics.
She said it was
a-
celestial type
that-
being.
that's
all she
a
said.
wide range of things. But anything else over the course of this week? Y'all have went and explored a little bit. Y'all have babysit the orb.
I want to
Clove.
stop by the tavern where we usually chow down and ask the cook there if they tend to use this new spice that we've found. The
Oh
Drake
no,
Metal.
no. It's everybody in the everybody around here would just think it's some kind of weed. It doesn't really have any uses out that they would know of. Just from it has to be refined and processed a certain way.
And then what happens to it?
It's the simplest thing. It's a fire alchemical element. It can be used for a spell component. It can be used to make anything fire, like explosives or torches that burn longer,
Explosives.
or anything you can think of that would be impacted by fire. It can.
It's like a combustible.
Yeah, a very high quality combustible.
Well, if there's one place that needs explosives, man, like I hate to say it, I mean, I was part of it. Andronicus part of it. I mean, we could probably tap into our good old friend, Mr. Fireshield, and have him tell his connections about this. This is kind of a big deal. We might be able to. This is good. This is money.
It would be
We
better.
could also use it to mine for the bright silver.
Mm-hmm. Explosives, yeah, absolutely.
Kisar would say it would be more beneficial if we had a large supply. Do we have a large supply, or do we have a few plants here and there?
We'd have to work for it.
We can farm
have
it. Yeah, if we get
No,
the.
but right now we only have a few plants.
Probably.
Then
I would say that you could get a pretty good first batch, but the time it would take to get a second batch would take probably quite a while because it's not being cultivated or harvested as a resource.
But
It's
that's
just
something we
naturally
can
growing.
invest in.
And Kisar agrees it is a fine idea. However, sustainability would be a better draw. Like, one-time thing would be, oh, okay, here's some gold.
Oh no.
We
We were
can
talking about this
constantly
on our way
supply.
back. This is something that we want to farm and we want to cultivate. 100%.
Good. Kisar approves.
Okay. Anything else over the next couple days?
I wanted
Okay,
to
I will
see if
watch.
Clove wanted to do a little bit more learning in learning how to speak either celestial or what you call it, the other language I've got on my belt that I can't think of at the moment.
Only with only a couple days.
Okay.
You probably would need a little more time.
Okay.
Usually it's like a week at least to be able to have enough time to actually make any kind of noticeable progress.
Okay, then I will not worry about that.
Kisar would like to speak to the local blacksmith and
Okay.
see if they could not craft a crossbow bolt to be shot from his hand crossbow.
Clove
to,
also was going to get information at that bar / pub.
To penetrate, but not to go all the way in, purposely to stick out so Kisar can be at a distance and light people on fire.
With the size of what you would have with the hand crossbow, you're looking at probably a bolt only that big, like maybe 4 or 5 inches. The making it to where it would stick in just a little bit, but then not bury itself or anything like that. It would really drastically impact the effectiveness of it because there would be a large chance that whenever it's stuck, it wouldn't go in far enough because it's so short and small anyway that it would just kind of more than likely just bounce off or just hit and not do
Then
anything and fall.
Kisar would like to talk to them about adapting that to an arrow, not a bolt.
Okay. Yeah, an arrow you could do it no problem.
Then Kisar would like 10 of such arrows made.
Let me think about how to do it. mechanically, and yeah, write down that you have 10 of those, and I'll figure out how to do it mechanically. Anything else? Any other questions at the tavern or anywhere in town?
I think there was talk of me contacting the guild, but I'm kind of nervous to do it without the whole physical, actual group here to decide on that. So I guess we'll put a pin in that.
Okay.
It's not urgent.
If nothing else, you can always set the ship down and do it somewhere along the way or something like that.
Yeah.
If y'all decide to take off. Okay, so yeah, we're just gonna. The week passes. This orb slowly over the week grows just a little bit larger, not noticeably, but just a little bit larger, and starts emanating more and more, until just being around it makes you feel better. Any kind of aching muscles don't feel as rough. Any kind of joint problems you don't notice them as much from working with the villagers or working around or doing anything like that. You notice little cuts and scrapes that you get on your hands from practicing with your weapons or doing any kind of manual labor seem to heal very quickly and stuff. It's the night of. It's 6 days later that night. You all hear this small pop, not a pop, more like almost a small gunshot go off from the fireplace in the common area.
That doesn't sound good. I'm gonna hightail it over there.
Clove, are you playing with the fireweed again?
No, not this time.
Oh, we're so tricky.
Look around. Is Andronicus smoking it again?
Don't put that in your mouth, Andronicus. No. Bad
As y'all
Andronicus.
run into the room to see what's going on,
He smokes everything.
pulling itself out of the fireplace, you see the orb is now floating and has a kind of ethereal looking body made of light. It looks to be roughly humanoid. And you meet Torek.
Yikes!
Who in the? What in the? Who?
Yeah.
What?
Kassar just watches on it and just like this blank kind of what the hell's going on face. Starts tapping Clove on the shoulder and holding.
Does he still have the Google eyes on his head? Roll for it.
Flip a coin. Flip a coin. Roll for it. High or low. There we go.
Kassar pushes the 10 anchoring
low.
arrows.
Roll for it. Roll 20.
Oh, I roll 20?
Yeah.
I hope he
I picked-
spawns
I
with them
picked
like
low.
right here.
Oh, I
No.
picked low and it's an 8!
Okay. Yeah, they're still on there. Only where you had put them, they're kind of off a little bit.
I'm like, oh my god, he's got so many eyes, just like the monster.
Kassar taps Clove on the shoulder and pushes a bundle of 10 anchoring arrows to her.
Let me. Oh gosh, how can I do this to where you
Can I
share
do
it?
produce flame to kind of like produce some things around me?
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
Let me see if I can do this. Just kind of give the image of what this
Cl-
thing looks like.
I'm like in the doorway, just like not wanting to come in, kind of just hiding. And I think it has many eyes like the monster does, and I don't know if I should attack it or not.
From looking at it, the only eyes you see on it are the two googly eyes. Like even the head, you don't see a mouth on the head or anything that would look. You don't see any defining features except for if you look really closely underneath the little bit of glow and energy that comes off of it, you can see the two symbols still.
Did you send us a picture? Pictures.
Trying to. Do you have a picture of his character?
There we go. That's what I need. I'm working on it.
Okay. Because I would like to
Nope,
show
not
everybody.
this.
But what we're doing is I continue to produce more and more flame around me.
Okay, so you all watch as these little flames start popping up, kind of floating in the air around him.
Are you live? Do you speak? What the hell are you? Oh, this ain't good.
Mr. Kokath's friend.
Mr. Fireball Man, Mr. Hash out of an egg. Hello.
Nope. Kisar points at it and casts Crown of Madness.
Give me just a second. Let me get this picture moved over.
Kisar goes to cast a spell. I'm like, did you ever not cast spells at things that you see for the first time? You ever try talking to things? Apparently not. Apparently not.
You should sing it a song of welcome.
Right?
What? Why is that? That color's not right. Why is that color not right?
I'm gonna do one more produce flame on my end,
Do we have marshmallows?
and then I'm gonna speak. I'm gonna speak in common.
Okay.
Where am I?
You are on the island of Nam Ro, my friend. Who are you?
Namro. I was headed to Vollarune.
That is where you are.
Oh wait, no, I'm
I
sorry. This is Vollarune.
I think my friend has
Yeah,
been hitting the head.
I'm a little put off here. This is Vollarune. We are the
No. Y'all are
As
in
I'm
Voldan.
speaking, you
Voldan.
hear the.
Hold on.
You see like the egg shape kind of keep going every time I'm speaking as well.
Yeah, this is Voldan. We're the champions of Voldan, and that's where you're at. You are on a small island of Voldan.
There you go. You have a picture now under the images.
Is that under library, under images?
Should be, yes. Share sheet. There we go.
Oh, it's question marks.
It's a big X question mark.
Oh, if you click on that there and you can see him, then I can show the
I
screen.
closed it right when it did it.
Look at that. Boom.
Look what I've done.
I did the
Look
thing.
what I have created.
Oh, there it is.
What age is it?
It's the age of
It's a
Aquarius.
It's a celestial mummy.
More or less.
Stop
Well,
confusing the new friend.
Right now, any of the cloth is not there. It's just this ethereal body made out of light.
Whoa, I just saw it.
What, Clove, what is the date? He wants to know what age this is. I forgot what the date was. I haven't looked at the calendar in so long. I don't even know at this point.
He's a space mummy. It is Yulin 11
Oh,
first
that's funny.
laureate of
Laureate 11.
2068. Of course.
It is after
So,
calamity.
Would my character know
It's
when
12
he went
a.m.
into the egg shape, the egg form?
What? Give me just a second.
What happened to you, friend? I mean, we just got this strange egg situation out of a tentacle monster that we fought. I mean, were you attacked?
I was headed to Vollarune to help the people. War everywhere.
You know
Oh,
that it is that you're in your 7th cycle. As far as the date, oh gosh. Celestial cycle date would be.
Was it? Didn't we talk about it being like 10,000 years or something like that, right?
Yeah, each cycle.
Yeah. Okay.
The correct answer is
7th
it's
cycle, but it's
War Amongst Who?
probably the
War
top
among
right
people of Vollarune. I was sent by my star to come assist and
What
bring
star?
peace and help everyone. Star is not your star. Star is my star.
Kisar pulls out his viola and starts playing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
Okay, so I explained to him that basically pretty much that my star is equivalent to my temple leader. So think of it as my priest or my my people's leader.
Who is this war between?
Numbers are hard.
We were not told. We were not sure. We just felt the cosmic energy radiating to us far away.
Well, you could have come like a day, like a week and a half earlier, and we wouldn't have had to fight the tentacle monsters. But you know, whatever.
I
I
mean,
came in my 4th cycle.
or you could
Is
learn
that
how to
how you-
fight and just, not get knocked out.
There we go.
Is that how you travel through the tentacle monster, or were you attacked by him? I don't understand how you got here through this monster.
So
I was using
cosmically,
planar travel. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
cosmically, it's close to this. There's been this many amount of cycles as far as a cosmic history, and you're in your 7th cycle. So there you go.
What happened to you? What did you like? Were you
During my travel, I was ambushed by this tentacle monster.
Yes, that happens.
Can I actually use my produce flame to kind of mimic the monster?
No,
to
that's not
visualize it?
necessary. It's not necessary.
Maybe. Let me look at produce flame. I think so.
He
I think
says
you
that
can
tentacle
control it.
monster. I cast minor illusion in my hand. You mean this nasty looking son bitch?
That's the one.
Did he best you in
came into
combat?
contact with it, and it was quick. Interplanar travels like that. I was going through, got grabbed, and I'm here now. That's the last thing I remember.
So what happened was you were actually coming up on being on Vollarune, and right before you got here, they kind of ambushed you as you were coming in. So it was pretty much just a quick, but you hadn't been there for like, it was kind of the same day that it ambushed you. It made it the rest of the way and showed up, and then they killed it.
Did you
Okay.
think to tell him that you are not that kind of star?
They do not care.
I don't have
They're
a
ready to eat the
silver
world.
outfit or anything.
Well, I mean, where did you say you were headed before you got, I guess, eaten and or defeated or whatever the hell happened? Because I'm still a little confused about this situation.
Kisara has a follow-up question. How old are you? Because you just came out of an egg, so are you like a baby? Do we need to get you some milk?
When I when I arrived here, I was in my 4th cycle, so I was 40,000 years old.
Well, that puts
So no
my
milk?
350 years to shame, so I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to pout.
So you don't want any milk, is what you're saying? You're good.
You can try it.
As you're talking to them, you realize that the flames you're producing are not making the same kind of light anymore. It's a different color, and everything that you can feel about yourself has changed some way.
Can I investigate what's different about me? Can I pick up on it using my perception?
Just knowing kind of the life cycle of your people and everything, you get pretty quickly get the sensation that you were in that state for a lot longer than you realized, or that the travel took a lot longer than you realized. You've went into your late phase of your existence, so you've phase shifted into your current. Yeah.
It looks like I've been asleep for so long that I have expended so much energy upon my travel here that I am now in what we call the neutron phase of my people.
Is there a dance to go along with?
Typically, there is no dance.
Oh.
Typically, when we are young, we are literal sons for our heads. But since I am now so old and I've expended so much energy traveling and healing myself throughout time, I am now dim. I am now blue.
So if I just, use basic science that I might know a thing about, as a star starts to die, that's usually bad, and that causes really bad shit to happen when that star is in fact dead. Is this something that we should worry about? Because that does not sound good.
I have a few more cycles in me.
How long is a cycle? Like 3 days, a week, a year?
About 10,000 years on average, give or take.
Oh, all right, then we're fine. Then we'll have to worry about the end of the world about 10,000 years. That's fine. We'll worry about it then.
With his, just as a meta knowledge and just for other people around, with his kind, they don't really pop or explode or anything. They'll go from a primary phase, and when they're young and about 50,000 years old, they'll shift into one of 4 late stages where they either take on different abilities and different aesthetic based on what the choices and the way that they live their life. some of them are turn into pulsar kind of stars, or neutron stars, or black holes, or dwarf stars, just depending on how they've lived their life. And then once they reach a certain age, once many cycles later, eventually their light just fades out and they just cease to exist slowly. Unless they're a black hole, and then they're technically the liches of their kind, and they are infinite.
Okay.
So he one day could turn into a black hole sun.
No, they only
washed away
they
the
only
rain.
have 2 phases. They start in the primary phase, and then once they age into the secondary phase, once they're in their second phase, they stay that way from then on.
Okay, so no neutron dance, no black hole sun. Got it.
I walk into the room now. I guess I feel a bit more comfortable, but I'm a little skeptical. I take a seat kind of in the corner, and I'm like, so it's kind of interesting that you've joined us at this moment in time here. As you may not have noticed, we are actually the champions of Valdon. Does that call any knowledge to you? No.
No, nothing.
What about
Right.
It was
names
a totally
such
different
as
age.
Kokoth or
Does the name
or-
Kokoth ring a bell to him?
Bull or
Would I know anything about the current world?
Roll your planar knowledge.
Okay.
or Serval or Rosario?
Yeah.
Does one of these
Serval,
ring a bell?
Rosario, Kokoth. Hell,
Davenport.
Davenport.
Ooh,
Where is planar knowledge?
It's under
It's under what?
skills.
Skills. There we go. Got it.
See, these are all the characters we're kind of dancing with, so I'm wondering if there's any connection that you have to
Interesting. Okay.
these.
As they're kind of listing names, you're familiar with. You've heard tale of Kokoth. You've never met any of them. You're familiar with Servial. You know that he's actually one of, not directly but he's another celestial of some sort. Rosario, you know, to be on the other side of the battle. Demon forces, just from the name alone, you're able to like, oh, okay, yeah, that's a demon. Direct knowledge of them, you're not entirely sure. You've been out so long that the Rosario and Servial getting together and having a child and being the demon and the angel have a child thing, you haven't heard about. But you know those two. You don't know Kokoth, but it sounds, the name sounds like somebody you feel like you should know in some way. Davenport.
Would it be better to say that I picked up on their energies from like way long ago, and I can still feel them?
Yeah. Davenport's a name that you would actually know and have met in the past.
Yes, he gets around.
So
Okay.
y'all realizing at this point, how long did you say you were asleep for?
Everybody stops in
He
Davenport.
doesn't know yet.
Assuming that's
knows
what
him.
I feel is right,
knows him.
that this is the 7th cycle, then that would be I've been asleep for about 30,000 years.
So that means if you've heard of Davenport, that now means that he's at least 30,000 years old.
Well, Kisar would say that it is possible that he is that old, or perhaps just in his I'm a glowing little ball egg thing. Maybe he still gleans knowledge from the universe at large.
I mean, now that you're conscious again, what's going to be your aim here? Are you still headed to help with this war, or what are you trying to do here?
Well, you guys tell me, is there a war anymore? Is there a need?
I mean,
The bright
they've always-
lights are happening right now. There's monsters all over the place, like the one that absorbed you. They absorbed my friends here, and we had to snatch them out of him, and that's how we found you. So, I mean, I'm kind of curious, is there a way that you can contact your star?
No, there is no way. When we were sitting here, we were told that when we have completed our job, that we would attract other Celestials to our presence, and that would give us the ability to travel back to our homeland, our star. And then at that point, once we arrived, we would take over the mantle of Star.
Kisar will start playing a little ditty called Starlight Starbright.
Hutch is kind of sitting there, just blown away that he's able to have a conversation with you. Kind of only putting two and two together that he knows why he can, but it's new to him because he hasn't spoken this yet until just now.
Mhm.
I guess at this point, I mean, what's your next move? What do you plan on doing now that you're awake? Do you have any plans or goals?
Well, keeping on with the goal of helping everyone on this planet and hopefully attracting Celestial so I can eventually go home. That is my goal. So
Well, I mean,
hopefully, along our journey, we can meet one.
So
I mean,
you'll,
you've got some Celestials you can track, like Rosario. If you want to go ahead and see if you can contact that person.
I might be able to. I've been known to pick up on cosmic energy.
I mean,
Kisar-
that would be very helpful for us.
Kisar looks at Hutch and gives him
I mean, my patron, the person who's giving me these abilities, is by definition part celestial. So I guess technically you've got. I guess I would be like a half. Is that maybe right? A quarter, maybe. I don't know. Somewhere in the middle.
Cousin's ex-roommate.
Yeah, right.
I mean, before we have you going and contacting Rosario, which may result in some unwanted attention, maybe we could have you talk to Kokoth.
Is that something I could do? Would I be able to do that?
I can
In my
make it
current
happen
state?
unless he can reach out on his own.
I mean, he is more in touch with that phase of reality than you are.
I mean,
But
when
she's
Kokoth
also in like a
tries to
pocket
explain
dimension
things-
too.
Yeah, reaching out, and it would being able to have that kind of any of that stuff takes rituals to be able to bridge that gap.
We still have some of our candle left.
I have the ability to do this one more time. One more time.
And you
we
have no
could
more
put it in.
resource of the candle.
We could put a pin in that and head back to Rayori and try and procure more.
Wait, did you just say we don't have any more candle? Or that
There
would
is-
be the last of the candle?
That'd be
I
it.
thought I had one more. Yeah, this will be it for us. If I do it one more
Okay,
time, we're
cool,
out.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Yeah, if I do it one more time, we're
Because-
out.
So I can't contact the guild to get you any more candles.
Because they
Well,
weren't coming from Aori.
Kisar
coming
would
from the
say
guild.
that perhaps we've got to go to Nam Toy, right?
Nam Year.
Nam,
It was near
Nam
Nam
Toy.
Toy.
oh, all right.
Yeah,
Fair,
Nam
fair.
Year.
But
Year.
we could start heading that way, or we could head back to Rayori to try and procure more of your incense to make the ritual stronger.
We
I
were
can-
getting those incense through the guild, and I
Mhm.
can't contact them at this point. So
But I thought it was only the candles that we specifically. The guild got us the incense.
Where's
just
the
because it was
guild?
Convenient.
the guild. So my guild has fallen apart, and considering the drama that you two are going through, this sounds very small peanuts at this point. But basically, I was a part of a thieves guild, and they had some beef. My contact is accused of killing the leader, and they've all dispersed. And there's a hit to kill, and I don't know if it's on us or not. So
But it's important that you understand. When she does sneaky things, it's because she's a friend, not because she's a sneaky person.
I'm not sneaky. You're asking me to sneak.
That's right. It's on us, not her.
It's your fault, and you owe me favors.
Guess
Well,
What
our
else is
buttons
going on in
without
this world
button of
besides the
shirt.
guild?
Well,
No, I decide what the favors are, and we talked about that. Kisar, sorry.
the fact that
sorry.
you know who Davenport is very
Worrisome.
disconcerting.
Interesting.
I would love to hear
Worrisome, I think, is
everything
the
you
proper
remember about Davenport over a cup of coffee.
100%. That would be the next question I would ask. Good call.
Do you drink coffee? Do stars drink
I do not
coffee?
need. I technically do not actually need any food or drink I mean, you can try it. It's just gonna get burned up.
Do you sleep?
I do sleep, yes, and when I sleep, my light goes fully dim.
Okay.
In my current phase.
If you touch wood things, would you burst them into flames?
Touching it with my head or my ghastly body?
Your body.
Nope, nothing would happen as long as I touch it with my ghastly body.
I'm gonna try something stupid. Like, is he glowing at this point?
No. There is he doesn't have a glow. Being in a neutron phase, he doesn't have a glow anymore.
Okay,
Does
that
he just float or does
He
he
radiates. He radiates
Float.
other.
Both?
There is an emission that comes off of him that makes you feel very warm, very safe.
is it radiant?
Aw.
Is
Yeah.
it
Well,
radiant
it looks
energy?
like I
That's what I was
float,
asking.
but technically I'm
Aw,
just
you're
ghastly.
radiant.
You can't see
Yeah.
it though. That's the
You're all
thing. It's
you
not
radiant.
visible.
Kesar just randomly leans in and says, "Hold me."
You make me feel
Can
so
I-
warm and safe.
Can I
You're so
embrace
radiant.
them with my ghastly body, and then can I like do a passive heal or something to light me up and give some nice warmth out?
Sure.
Okay. I
I'm
embrace.
It
Kisar.
tingles. Do it
I'm like
again.
a little nervous. I'm like, oh, this is kind of strange.
Who else wants a hug?
Hutch looks over shoulder. Kind of like takes 2 steps forward.
Group hug.
And then when he
yay!
gets in, and then once Hutch gets close, like he feels the warmth, and he's like, I know what this is.
Does it feel like Kokoth?
I look at Clove, I'm like, you are very, very smart. Yeah,
Thanks.
it's this energy that is being given off that I am familiar with and can radiate myself. I say step back about 40 feet
Well,
and not in
that
front of
case-
me.
Well, in that case, do we maybe want to take this outside, not in the building?
Yeah, that's fine. It depends on how. I just need you 40 feet away from me.
From you?
Yeah.
Okay, I like back off. I'm like, no, thank you.
No,
Okay.
go walk out the
You're
door.
gonna
and
be
do-
fine. If you're 40 feet away, this isn't gonna hurt you.
No, I'm not worried, but that we have room because I
Mhm.
don't think this
Yeah,
room is
yeah.
40 feet big.
So, I'll lead
Yeah,
everybody
we'll go
outside.
down the hallway.
I'll lead everybody
As
outside.
we're going outside, I wanna ask our new friend, like, you know, with his familiarity with Kokoth, Serval, and Rosario and Davenport, like, had those relations that he has had with them, had they been hospitable or neutral or hostile?
So my knowledge of Kokath is really, really little. I've only ever heard of them in whispers, and so to speak.
Wait. Him or
Serbia-
her? It's a her.
Them.
Damn. Okay. Good. All right, that works.
Kesar leans in.
Regarding
No.
Davenport, again, I've only heard of him in whispers.
Oh no. I sent you a
everything
couple
else like that?
messages. You get stuff.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
I did.
Okay.
Kesar leans in the
I
hutch.
Let me.
Kesar understands
read this
every
quick.
time somebody says them, it means him.
That's not
Um,
entirely accurate.
That's
Being
gender neutral, just like Yin's.
being
Bingo.
otherworldly entities from the light and the dark,
Yes, but them fucking with him. Shut
they're
up.
they're he's, they're she's, they're both, they're whatever they want to be.
I mean, if you just
Like
drop it
this
down to biblically
car.
speaking, that's 100% accurate.
And it could be thousands, hundreds of
Mhm.
thousands of cycles, and they decide that they want to be something else, or it could be tomorrow, and Kokoth could show up and it's somebody else,
Yep.
but it's still Kokoth.
But they can't drink alcohol. Oh, come on. I just made a Dogma reference. Somebody come on. Get
I
in there
mean-
with me.
It's been very long
They
time
can.
since this
They
movie.
just have
That to
to
spit it
back
out.
We asked Turek if he's ever seen Dogma. No, I'm just kidding. Wait,
Minor
no.
illusion, and I
Alanis Morissette as God.
exactly.
Kesar,
Anyway,
Kesar
Oh,
is
so
low-key
ironic.
walking behind Turok and sniffing to see if his gaseous form actually has a smell thing.
So ironic.
Do I have a smell?
No,
I don't
no,
think it
but
would
for
have a
real,
smell, right?
for real, no, seriously though, this question. Was Davenport hostile or friendly? That was really
So
I
when
was
I met Davenport, It was many, many cycles. So my first cycle, and when I met him, I pretty much helped him escape from being a slave of the darkness.
Oh,
When I last met him, he was just traveling over here to Vollarune after we freed him. And again, I was very, very young. So that was when I was less than 10,000 years old.
So really,
why was
okay,
the darkness trying to absorb him?
I do not know. And during that conflict, we just had one mission: just free people, release darkness, get everyone out.
So
What-
it was him and multiple other people who were being absorbed by this darkness, and you set them free. Davenport was just
Slave of
one
the
of them.
darkness.
The
Yes.
darkness. Instead of heaven and hell, I mean, it's light and dark. The light is the celestials, the dark is the demons and the abyssal things. And it's from the beginning of time. It's a constant war.
Do
So
we
it-
exist in the prime plane? Like when we
Yes.
look at this map? Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Well,
so
this stuff.
at least 30,000 years, his best plan to come up was to have you shot.
I mean, right?
10,000 years, he could have come up with anything.
You figure
better
a
than
man's been
shoot.
around for a little bit, might have better idea at this point, right? I mean, that's the irony of the whole situation. But while they're talking,
just
I
lazy.
set myself out where since we're outside, I'm gonna back up to 40 feet. I'm gonna activate my shroud, but I'm gonna use the celestial energy side instead of the necrotic.
So it does the opposite at that point. It looks the same. The wings are still broken, but instead of it being the dark with the light inside of it, it's the light with the dark inside of it.
And there's your celestial energy. And once I do that, I switch to celestial and I speak to him in celestial.
Okay.
And I ask him, and I'm speaking to our new friend Turek, and I ask him, if you knew Davenport 10,000 years ago, what race is he? Because he's not human. What do you know about him? On a personal
So I
level.
actually met Davenport at my first cycle. So not 10,000 years ago, but when I was less than 10,000 years old.
Fuck, so 6. Okay, but that still makes him an ancient at this point. So what do you
he's-
know?
A human.
I don't know too much more than besides what you guys already know.
But humans
I'm
don't
just
live
as
that
shocked
long.
as you are to hear that he's still alive. Perhaps when he was a slave of the darkness, he
So
was
you don't know
affected
either.
by it.
Okay.
They did. So what Turek would know would be that while he was under the servitude and a slave to the dark, they did something to him, or he was taken because something had been done to him at some point. He was human, but he can't die.
So again, still in celestial. So unfortunately, they can't hear. But
we don't hear any of this, right? You're seeing this.
no,
all
I'm
in
speaking to him
celestial.
in a different language. So
It's
I
like
asked
funny
him.
skills, you know, just
I was like,
if
if he
run
was
your finger over
taken
really
or
fast,
anything like that, he was human. Do you know if he was cursed? And like, I don't throw this term around very often, but cursed, like maybe vampirism or lycanthropy or anything like that. Does that mean anything to you?
Possible. I mean, he does not die.
Some
So
sort of-
there's not too much more I know about that.
Roll a
Ha- do you-
nature.
who, him or I?
Anybody. Everybody.
Everybody? I want to ask if he knows anything
said
about
nature?
Zorok.
19 on the
Yes.
nature check.
Anything about Zorok?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Couple 19s.
You can't trick me. I rolled a 13. Ugh, and it didn't go on the board. Is it not registering?
That's fine. It might have just,
I got a
don't
9.
know. There it goes.
Oh, then I got a 4.
13's fine. So everybody but Kisar would have. Turek probably wouldn't, just from not being around this plane enough. So Clove and Hutch would know that lycanthropy is not a immortality. It does increase your longevity, but it doesn't make you immortal.
What is that called?
Lycanthropy, being a werewolf or a were person of some kind.
Kisar doesn't really pay attention because he starts wondering if I'm a tabaxi. I'm half cat, half person. Can I return into a? I don't think I can. Can I?
I don't know. We might see. But Yeah, lycanthropes do still age. They just age very slowly. They leave for a few centuries, maybe a few millennia, but then they do eventually die of age. Meanwhile, vampires, nobody freaking knows. They're vampires. They're weird.
Mm.
They're like liches. And if he would know Zorok, no, wouldn't be familiar at all.
Okay, he's not familiar with Zorok.
Did you ask that out loud, Clove?
Yes.
Kisar,
And I
which one?
share with you the knowledge about the lycanthropy.
Lycanthropes. I rolled the same roll you did.
Lycanthropes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you hear that, by the way?
Yeah, I had my headset on. I heard everything. Yeah, I'm aware. But then I switched to Abyssal and just kind of reiterate what went over. I'm like, but vampirism, as far as we know, everything that we've been taught is a taste of immortality. So maybe, I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point because you don't have to be a bad guy to be a vampire. So
When you start talking Abyssal, I know Turek doesn't. I don't think anybody else understands you except.
I only understand a little bit.
right, it's speaking broken, but I'm just gonna say, but vampire basically, and then I shrug. Then I'll just keep it simple because she can speak like third grade
Right.
Abyssal,
The demon is under the table.
basically.
The
Clove's
demon
only, you
is
noticed
in the
Turek kind of looked at you. Turek, whenever you hear him speaking Abyssal, almost not hostile, but very cautious because that's the enemy's language. That's the
Do I know Abyssal?
no.
Oh, is it? Okay.
You're familiar with how it sounds, but you don't have the comprehension of it.
Okay.
Kisar leans over to Clove, so he doesn't know about Zorak.
No, he does not know about Zorak, but I would love to ask him about. Oh, I blanked on it.
Kisar would like to know what's your stance in general on liches, because there's an island of them and we think they're fuckheads.
Oh, Fuars. Sorry.
What are the liches doing? Are they bothering anybody?
You wouldn't know what a lich is.
What about
Yeah.
Fuara?
He wouldn't know what that is.
You wouldn't know the
What about
Fuara for as long as they no. Okay.
The Bright Knights. So
Because
we're
it's
just
a-
like flashing all these words in front of him, and he's just like, "I was just born like."
He's been-
way over my head.
He's been out he's been on ice for a long time.
Want to
And
see
we're
our
off.
ship?
Yeah.
We have
It's
a
like when
flying
you go to
ship.
visit your
What's the
friend.
ship?
It's like when you go to visit your friend in a new city and you just got off the airplane and you're like all jet lagged and they like take you on this like
Knowledge
freaking, like
download
breakneck
overload
tour
mode.
of like their town and you're just like, I need to take a nap.
Yeah.
Because the
Kick
trip
up.
of it. So the thing is, the trip to Vollarune, when he set out, would have been maybe a cycle to get there at most, and then
So-
he got ambushed on the way in, and it's been 3 times that
So
long.
he made
but-
it to Vollarune like he wanted to because that's basically the world we're in. But
right.
yeah.
Time wise,
grabbed.
he's on a different timetable. But even then, what would be all of history, as everybody that you've met, except for Davenport, knows it, would have already happened and been done, even if he made it during the normal timetable. Even if it took him a full cycle to get here, that's 10,000 years
Yeah.
of history
Yeah,
That's
that it
just-
passed.
for him. So he doesn't know anything about any of this stuff.
So he's probably talking about something that happened even before the calamity,
Mhm.
because that only happened what 1,000 years ago,
But
2,000 years ago.
But what help would it be to send somebody and have it take so long to fight a war that they don't even know who's fighting who?
Kisar has a
Historically,
slightly
Vollarune has always been troubled.
a hot spot of bad stuff. Kisar has a slightly more pressing, and I think a question of greater gravitas than anyone we've asked so far. Are you naked?
Yes.
That's awkward.
See, I'm not
I hugged
I'm
him
not
So-
while he was
concerned
naked.
with
Put
that
it
at
into
all.
your mind. literally, like all you see is a giant floating orb, the egg, so to speak, and it's just lit up kind of dimly blue, and there's nothing underneath it. But if you were to walk through, you would hit the gas.
Okay.
See, that does not bother me.
I hope the
It
next
bothers me.
It bothers me a little
Oh,
bit.
I'm sorry, sir. I did not realize that you need some clothing. Let's find you. Let's find you something to wear.
I mean, if we're on our way back to the ship, I mean, maybe he'll fit into our old buddy Flynn's gear that he left behind. He left some clothes and whatnot in his bunk.
That's awkward.
From what the supplying of the fort and everything, he's Fire Shield has left a couple of extra supplies and stuff, and he has a full retinue of gear out of that.
Okay, my apologies, new friend. I didn't realize that you had a physical body that was exposed at this point. I thought you were.
I have no
glowing
shame. Don't worry.
fort. So I turn my head and cover my eyes and apologize for any kind of indecency.
Kesar realizes that occasionally she's doing this, and I was like, oh, what's going on?
Just remember, if you
For
hug me,
shame.
you just hug a naked sunborn.
No, I got
Hutch
that.
liked it.
Kesar,
We did
Kesar
group
has
hug.
mixed feelings.
That's fine.
Well, I mean, now we're bonded.
Yeah, we had naked hugs. Like, I think we're friends now. I think that's how this works. But
You know,
It's a good
I think we
icebreaker.
I would
Yeah,
like
we go-
to.
dig into Andronicus's stuff and smoke the peace pipe, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean,
Really cement the bond.
Andronic.
I mean, I guess at this point, I mean, we're all pretty much acquainted with each other. I mean, if y'all are okay with it, and I kind of use telepathy to talk to you two directly, you all reckon we should invite him to hang out with us and maybe make this venture to Namir? I mean,
Well, perhaps we find out what skills, because we don't want to take, like, if he's a farmer, probably not because they sent him here to help, but if he has combat skills, we should figure out what they are beforehand.
if
Let's
I
get-
look at him, can I, like, I'm gonna use it because I haven't yet. I'm gonna use detect magic, and can I basically kind of get an idea of what he's capable of as far as, like, I obviously know he's got radiant. I know he's got his fire, so he healed him already.
Do
Try
we
detect magic
do we
if you
know
want
their
to.
pronouns?
I'm going to.
What are
Maybe.
your pronouns? I don't know. I didn't ask.
Do you prefer they?
I do not consider pronouns. It's they. It's totally fine.
Okay, we will they you. That sounds great.
If you come
I
from
am
a son,
she.
i-
I am
if you,
she.
if you come from a son, are there others who come from a daughter? Like, do the celestial bodies identify like that way, or?
That one?
So,
There's a cat.
Sunborn, what I am, technically we are nascent stars. We have no home.
Okay.
So when we are not the center of our own cosmos, as stars are, we take on smaller forms,
Like this.
and then we form just like this, yeah. And
Okay.
then we will form tribes, temples, and things like that to group up. And then one of us becomes the quote unquote star and leads us in making decisions and what we have to do to help the people around us, and help the universe.
Andronicus, you look like you need a shave.
Right?
He's so fuzzy.
He looks like he saw.
So his race is Sunborn, right? Is that correct?
Yes. He is a sunborn.
And what is his
Phoenix
class?
Mancer.
Phoenix.
A Phoenix Mancer.
Sunborn
That is now updated.
Sweet.
Phoenix.
Thank you for updating that.
Yep, done.
In
So
my current phase, I'm extremely good at healing, producing fire, and I'm an okay fighter. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been sent here.
whatever you do, would highly recommend not trying to go toe to toe with a mummy. It's probably a bad idea. We saw a
no.
medic do that one time, and that was bad news all around. So
I mean,
What's a
probably-
mummy?
that's a better
Probably
idea.
can go-
Just keep that in mind.
Don't go toe to toe with anything while
So
you're naked.
yeah, anything that would be part of the prime, you wouldn't have hardly any clue about. But anything that would be part of the dark or part of another plane of existence, you have this vast knowledge of.
Hold on. So, Kisar has a question. You don't really know about here, right? but you know about out there?
In pieces, yes.
Okay. How did that tentacle monster get here?
Same way I got here. Interplanar travel.
But I mean, did he just say, "Hey, I'm coming on over," or did it just kind of happen by accident?
I want to tap on his shoulder, and by him I mean Kasar, and point back up to that moon where everything's coming out of.
Well, that's what I'm. Did he come from because of that, or did he just say, "Hey, you know what? That prime material world looks pretty tasty"?
I myself do not know too much about them. I just know that they were here when I got here.
Okay.
So I'm gonna assume if they're not native to this planet, then I assume they took the interplanar travel as well.
And
You
Kisar
would know
turned-
what one is. It was a Cartoerba. They're just scavenger, bottom feeder. Anything kind of comes by, they're gonna grab it, and they're just kind of floating out in the far realms. And if they hit, like, there's planar bridges, and they're kind of conduits that can move you along. And if they hit one, they just kind of float through it and pop up here. And it's like, oh, cool, we're here. Let's go eat something.
There's a
Okay,
really
so
cute
I changed my
sleeping
answer
dog
to
behind
Goosebump.
you.
Oh, it's not
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Yeah, that's my
It's
buddy.
so-
That's
It's
Mars.
so distracting. It's so cute.
Yeah,
Kisar
sorry.
will turn and look at
My
Hutch.
buddy.
It's like because
Look at the
I just
baby!
want to know if we should expect more to just randomly pop up, or if it was a once in a while thing.
I
Maybe.
think, given the
Well, we
way
never know.
this stuff works here, at least from the way I'm figuring, is we're probably going to be running into all kinds of random stuff because that thing is open. And with my understanding from conversations I've had with Kokoth and whatnot, that it's not just creatures that come through it, it's all types of magic, all types of beings that are not of this plane of existence, period. Anything supernatural, and I point back up to it, that's a big deal. So my theory is if at some point this thing closes, all that's going to cease to exist.
But like that silver dragon was cool, so maybe we keep him.
The dragon was not too bad, but I think we should maybe make our way over to Namir at this point and try to see. As much as the guy might have been a fool, Flynn is kind of a big part of this.
If we approach Namir, we should have some kind of alternate motive, I'd say, so that the spiny demons don't show up like before. And I want to address Turek and just let him know that it seems that if we're on the actually, have they even seen the flying petal? We
Yeah.
should probably introduce you to the flying petal, our flying ship that we transport ourselves on. Here it is.
Fly, let's do it.
Do maybe want to go to Nam Toy and just get the like a feel, see what they know about the other island, and
I
then
wanna-
go to the other island.
I would agree with that. I think that's a very smart choice to kind of get a neighbor's point of view before we go marching into a place. It'll also give some rumors and say about us stopping by other places nearby and not just straight to where Flynn may be.
But I mean, here's the problem. This could work in our favor, but it could also backfire. It could be like, oh, they're at the neighbor's house, so they're going to be coming here soon. Better cut off another finger. Just a
Well,
thought.
then we'd know how closely they're watching us, so that would still
That's
give us some
true, yeah.
information about what's going on.
Plus, it'd be nice. We go to Numtoy and they're like, oh, that island's full of fuckhead spike demons and whatnot. Yeah, so
Yeah,
we do that. We go there.
I agree.
Hatch.
I'm
Hatch?
sorry, I'm banning people in the stream. I'm sorry.
You're banning people?
Yeah,
What?
bot accounts. They're bot accounts.
Oh, nice. Fucking butts.
I'm
You mean
sorry.
I don't buy 1 billion followers?
Yeah, bro. All day, every day. Let's go.
Anti-robot.
Damn you butts. Sorry,
Right.
Polar, not you.
Okay, so I'm gonna need a quick recap on what just happened. I'm sorry.
Kisar suggested, and Clove agrees, that we go to Numtoy just to get the see what we can glean about the other island, and then maybe we sneak over to the other island.
Just for safety wise, just kind of get our feet wet a little bit
Yeah,
before we
get
jump in the
it
pool.
like, yeah.
It
so,
also also to fuel our trade
Wanderlust.
that we're looking for to see if people want the goods that we have, and also to support our backstory when we do approach Namir to make it even more legitimate that we are visiting local places to see who wants these goods that we're trying to grow, instead of the fact that we're looking for somebody, which we should not tell people.
I cross my arms and look at Clove. I'm like, I would like to. I mean, I'm just gonna say it. Like, I would like to say, you obviously seem to know an awful lot about this and might be able to handle it. Why don't we put you in charge of this? I back you 100%, and you have some really good ideas. I'd like you to be the face of this.
Yeah,
I like her expression.
Insert Tina nervous sound.
Okay.
But aren't we still worried about Clove being?
Yeah.
I mean, if it comes to that point, I mean,
Hold on.
maybe we'll talk about it. But
Kitar pulls out his backpack and starts digging through to look for something. Hold on.
Hold on and hold on.
Kitar pulls out an entertainer's kit real quick and starts digging through it real quick. He's got to double check something. Well, what am I doing? I can just do it on here.
I'm like, Google. I mean, if you're okay with that, I mean, you can say no, but if push comes to shove, like I speak for myself, but I'll have your back to the end.
I'd be comfortable heading this up with a sidekick for sure.
All right.
Because my knowledge of how this universe works is not.
Well,
that.
How about I tag team it with you? I've got some background and some trade and stuff like that. I might have made some bad decisions, but I feel like I could probably help you with that. That is a little bit of my expertise.
Sounds good.
All right.
Kisar produces
Can I come
out of
along?
his entertainer's
No,
kit
we don't like you. Turns around, cross.
one of two costumes.
Costumes.
We could dress up Clove into Rosemary, and then Kisar could go around because he's a sailor, and it would make more sense. Like, this is my captain of my my trade vessel.
Ooh,
Yeah, you would
Captain
be-
Rosemary of the Starship Enterprise.
No, you would
What?
be
Wait, what?
the head of this trade organization, and I would be
Oh.
your captain because I'm captain of the Flying Petal.
That's a little less exciting, but
Leave it to
we were
Kisar is
you
bringing
could
the
be
mood
captain.
down. We're over here having a good old time.
Jack's falling asleep.
Yeah,
He's going derp.
I mean, Kisar would be okay if Rosemary wants to be the captain, and he could be the financier of the trade organization.
That doesn't sound bad. Either or, I'd be okay with. And I was just kidding there, Turek. You're definitely welcome.
Kisar
I've
puts
been
a
so
big,
lonely.
wide-brimmed hat with a big plume
40,000
on
years.
Clove's head.
So to Turek, they seem, given what he knows about Vollarune and the ambitious people on it, and they seem interesting enough to be. Maybe I should hang out with these guys. These guys are kind of odd.
Wait
Kisar
a
leans-
second. So all these freaking years, there's no Fuara. There's no all this other stuff, but Vollarune was still a thing?
It's the world we live in, technically.
It's the planet we're on.
Yeah.
So the Fuwara and all of that started happening after the collapse,
After the collapse.
and that was
Okay.
like 2,000 years ago.
And he would have been
Before that-
well, not unconscious, but sleeping at that point.
Technically, this would be the 8th age of Vollarune
What was-
of
what
the
was-
history, but you're talking to somebody from out in a different part of the solar system galaxy who's lives for hundreds of thousands of years and has been alive for 30,000, 40,000, no, 70,000 years or so, and has been traveling for 30 of those, and Vollarune has just been here, slowly building up to what it is now.
What
Yes,
was
sir.
it called before the collapse? Just before the collapse?
Before the collapse, it was the 7th era.
The 7th era? Okay, thank you. Oh, well, there goes my notes.
Kisar flicks his communication earring and says, "Can you this allows us to speak together. Do you have a way of talking to the people back out there the same way?
Did they hear of the Valdon or the keep?
Well, that's what Kesar was built
That was
into.
after
If you can,
collapse.
Well, that was not a thing before he left.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I had a
No, this is good information.
this was Kesar's idea. Could he reach back to somebody who's still out there, maybe paid attention? It's like, yeah, the winning lottery numbers are these. The keys you lost are under the sofa cushion. Stuff like that.
With the bridges open, you could travel, but as far as sending a message and stuff, there's not really any way to do that. If he wanted to send, it would take a very specific, distinct ritual to send any kind of information back, and it would take some very rare stuff, because it would take stuff from where he's sending the message to.
Okay.
I do walk
So
over
no
to
lucky
Turret,
lot of numbers.
and I reach in my pocket, and I pull out these little rings of communication, and I give him one, and
Cool.
say, "This right here will allow you to talk to us. It doesn't have to be verbal. Think of it kind of like a long-range telephone, as it were. Wait, do you know what a telephone is?
I have
Kesar
no idea
doesn't
what a
know what the
telephone
Think
telephone
of-
is.
Do you know what telepathy is?
Yes.
All right. Well, think of it as telepathy that is basically only linked between us. That once I give to you, you can basically attune yourself to it. You can keep it as a ring. You keep it as a watch, whatever you want it to be. But it allows us to stay in communication when we're not close to each other. And I give him one.
Oh,
Pretty-
okay. Thank you.
Pretty much, he's
How
a
would
kid.
I hold on to it? How would that look?
You can have them turn into bracelets or necklaces or anything. Like you
Okay.
could have it literally turn into this really tight band, that like a headband kind of thing, if you wanted to.
I was gonna say, make
Okay.
the circlet for your son.
Um,
Would your son burn it?
don't eat the
Well,
microphone.
I don't think it would, because now it's dimmer, so it's not as
Okay.
hot as it used to be when in my earlier phases.
So he's
Correct.
literally hot-headed.
Turek
Yeah.
being from where he's from and being the type of entity that he is, he's kind of if ants were human sized, but they still behaved the same way, and we were able to watch them from a distance. It's kind of one of those, like he's down with the ants now, and it's like, y'all are interesting. Let me see if I can help. Let me see what I can learn. Y'all are weird. Like it's a very foreign kind of thing on both sides.
It was like a new experience for me, basically.
Yeah.
Does Kesar get this his stance on our kind?
You could do an insight check.
Kesar will do the insight check.
And see kind of
16?
he seems curious and very just wants to help somehow.
All right. But Kesar would only request that should you have the urge to, I don't know, dissect or pull off body parts to get a better look, wait till Kesar tells you who to do it to, okay? Not Kesar.
Fair enough.
Thank you, that's fine. All right, everyone, the floating petal. And there is some gear you can dig through to find something for yourself.
Can I get a picture of the pedal?
Yeah.
The flying
If
district?
you click on the maps button, and I want to say it's under uncategorized.
It is.
Let me see if I can find it real quick. I can see if I can share it too.
There you go, the floating pedal.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
I need to update it. There's actually a cannon on top, on the front, and on the back.
Ahoy! And we have a reinforced bow. Stern.
This is true. I need to update that too. I keep reading that.
Stern
It's got
bow.
a ramming wedge on the front.
Cool.
So we're going to Num Toy, and then to Num. What was the other one? Num
Year. Why
Year.
I
Year.
are.
Yes.
Mhm.
Num Year.
Year.
Which is roughly halfway between Namtoy and Namke.
Okay. So Kesar will
Namkai.
Okay.
Namkai.
Namke.
Namkai.
Namke.
Namkai.
So are we going to you want to go up and actually make this a legitimate trade expedition, or are we going for speed or trying to get there as fast as possible?
Before we leave, I think we should have little samples of what we are trying to sell to people. So some of the bright silver and some of the spice, so that we can back up our story about trying to find
Go
a
ahead.
market for our wares.
You two rolled really high on your nature. The silver wouldn't be hard to do. It would just be harvesting, melting it down, and turning it into ingots. The other, you rolled high enough on your nature to know what it is, to know how to process it. Everybody go ahead and make an intelligence check.
Oh no.
7.
11, 7.
16.
Kisara is wandered back into whether or not he can turn
Smart.
into a lycanthropy.
So over, we'll say 3 days or so, a couple of you go out and work with a couple of the villagers to go and collect some of the bright silver. The wall clove goes and collects some of the drake petal and gets it crushed up and refines it and gets it just, if there's not a lot, there's like maybe half a gallon of the powder that once it's refined to take with you as just kind of a what do we call it?
Samples?
Yeah, samples.
Kisara would say, rather than make like a full ingot, let's make little weights of the silver and small pouches of the refined powder, and they'd be like, these are gifts. These are what we come to give in trade.
Yeah, like
These are for you.
like a little,
Yes.
like a 3-inch by 2-inch by 3-inch kind of cube.
Yes.
Small thing.
And this way we can. It is presented as a gift to open favorable fate or favorable trade, and you will be the captain. I will be the financier. Or do you want to be the financier and I the captain?
I'll be the salesman. How about that?
I think you might be a little bit much for people on the first meeting, but definitely
That
number
might be
2 meeting.
helpful. You'd be like, I've come from far, far away with these very
Oh,
exotic
he's the
goods,
financier.
and my head is a
I like to
star.
think I'm pretty attractive, you know?
We
And
could
you've got
make
all this
him.
fire. You've got all these fire things. You could make it seem like extra exciting, like David Blaine. You'd be like,
So
Can I roll for charisma here
and I disappear.
Yeah, you'd be able
to
to roll.
persuade him to let me be?
so we
No,
make him the
so-
financier, and you and I are the crew of his trade vessel.
Just have to convince them.
I think we need a flashy presentation to distract them from the fact that we're looking up some other information.
He would be flashy. And actually, if you go to your abilities and look at the, what is it called? What is it called?
I don't think my.
I have one called All Eyes on You.
That one. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think my persuasion is that. Well, I got +4 on persuasion.
That one might give you
Kisar has.
advantage on that.
Kisar also has +4.
All right, let's see. Now I can do my measuring.
Oh no! Here I got an idea. Hold on. He is the financier. Kisar is the herald of the financier, and you are the captain of the floating petal.
I reckon
You're
I
the
could just be the hired
The
The
gun.
herald.
herald.
7.
And you
Yeah,
can
and
be the
you're our
silver
bodyguard.
Yes, exactly. We'll do some pageantry here.
What about Andronicus?
He's also muscle.
Hired guard.
Okay, so we got 2 guards. We've got our presenter, Turek. We have our announcer, Kisar, and
Herald
and I'm
and
the.
Mod. And your mod. I'm Herald, your mod.
Nice.
So
I do have
okay.
a quick
Yeah.
question because I mean,
No,
given
for
just
real, what am I? What am I for real?
You're going to be the captain.
I'm the captain.
Turk, I got a question for you there, friend.
It's actually Torek.
Torek. I'm just gonna call you T-Dog. How's that
Torek.
sound? T-Dog all right? Does that work for you?
It's
Good mom.
okay. It's okay.
All right, T-Dog's all right. All right. So listen here, T-Dog. I got a question for you. I mean, you don't look like something you go around seeing every day. Let's just be honest about that. Do you have the ability to make yourself look like, I hate using the term, like something normal, but something or someone other than you are?
Where I come from, being unique is valuable.
Yeah, but a lot of times have changed since you've been gone, and unfortunately, because people suck, they might not necessarily accept that, and I hate to say it, but sometimes it doesn't always work out the best to look so beautiful as one such as yourself does.
I disagree.
Okay.
I
I
feel
think I
like,
can pull in a lot of people.
yeah, I
I'm
feel
what
like
you would call
his
exotic in this world.
Yes, I feel like his unique appearance would actually benefit us, and if it doesn't, I wouldn't want him to pretend to be
okay.
something else.
What in
How
that
do you dress for this occasion?
in that case, hold on. If you're worried about people interacting with him, then perhaps we make him the herald because he's gonna get attention, right?
I think
And
that
then
would
I
be the
could-
better way to do it because he's
I could be the financier.
yeah, because
people.
I mean, he stands out like a bright star, huh? You know what I mean? And it's very apparent that he is not of this world, and we can lean into it that way. But if he's not going to be the forefront of what we're going on, then, I mean, people suck, and I mean, Clove, you want to try to avoid fights as much as possible and being nitpicked on. That's why I was trying to say that. There was reason behind that. But I think if we flip it and put him as a herald, I think that would be a little bit more better because with his exotic appearance, that he's not of this place and you could lean into it a little bit more than him just standing out like that and just kind of just being a sidekick, so to speak. No offense.
None taken. Whatever will help the group more is what I will do.
But behind the scenes, Clove, you should still be in charge of everything.
That gives hours.
Okay.
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 Oh, I'm
Okay.
doing math to try to figure out how long some things are going to take. Okay.
Math is way too complicated.
Yeah.
What do you think,
sometimes
Mars?
it is. Especially whenever you got to travel like 30,000 miles and you got to figure out how fast the party can travel with the airship and then figure out how long that's going to take depending on how many hours per day they travel. And
Can I boost the ship with my fire powers?
Can Mars be in charge of everything? He's
You're
so
gonna crack
cute.
the whip on me, Bodie.
He's
You're gonna
so
crack the
cute.
whip on me.
He's so
You're gonna
cute.
crack the whip. You're gonna crack the whip.
so what's the plan? Where are we
Oh
headed?
my
What are we
dog
doing?
got jealous.
Nom toy.
Oh,
Headed to
Now,
Nam Toa.
Shit.
Kisar, if he believes, understands, we're gonna go to Nom Chon,
She came running. She was
then
pissed.
over to Nom Toy, then
Wait, we're
down
going to
to
all
Nom.
three? I thought we were going from here to Nom Toy, then to Nom Yer.
Well, there was the whole thing about making the samples because we could go and then find a little bit more like, hey, we're going to Nom Toy next, and then we're gonna go to Nom Year, and then we're gonna go to Nom, whatever.
Nom nom nom.
Okay.
Yes, we're gonna nom nom the whole way around.
Okay.
That was the plan.
All right.
So where are we starting?
We're gonna skip.
Because we know what the closest one is.
No, fuck Namro. We're not going there.
Are we sure?
Fucking leaky dead people. Look,
leaky people? What
How-
does that mean?
do we want to go to Namro? Like, Kisar really thinks this is a wonderful idea. Let's go to Namro.
I mean, if we're just gonna think about this from
I
a
don't
financial
think there's-
space,
I don't think there's any new information we can get from there, and we could always hit them on the way back. We already know that there's 8, now down to 7
Thanks to you and me.
main families that run there, and they are possibly necromancers of some kind, and it's run by undead that build and make things, and that's basically all the information we have. I mean, there's not really too much. I don't really think they're going to be able to give us any more information on our friend that's missing, or
You have a missing friend?
that's actually
Oh,
why we're headed out there. I mean, maybe it would benefit us to tell him why we're headed to these areas.
We probably should.
Well, so we had another member of our party. He was a Fuara. Apparently, he was a very special type of elf that only one comes around every 10,000 years or so.
300.
300. Every once in a long, long while.
Hold on. I was organizing my notes. I just rewrote that.
A long while to us, not to you. To you,
Yeah.
it's like a drop in the pan.
Right.
So just so everybody's on the same, the Fuara are a generation of elves. The first one has the most potential. They have
200.
something to do with the planar bridges being closed off most of the time. And they knew one, and he was the firstborn of the Fuara, and he has went missing. They got a message and a vision, and they believe they were sent a finger and told to leave it alone and not come look for him.
Which we're doing anyway.
But we have to do it on the
So
down
we need her
low.
help.
But we have to do it on the down low because last time we talked about it openly on the ship, in the air, 3 spiny demons came and attacked us. So I would highly advise us to not speak of this openly on the ship.
Should we use code names like he who should not be named?
We could.
Or we could just not speak out loud and talk to each other in our heads.
I don't know
Kisar
if that's good
isn't-
enough. I think we
Kisar
should
is in favor of both. We do
both.
code names and we use the communication rings. And Flynn should henceforth be known as Tinkerbell.
All right. I mean, I totally get what y'all are coming from, but my counter to that would be if they're obviously listening and we're trying to avoid this person's name and speaking out loud, I mean, wouldn't it be kind of transparent that that's directly the person that we are referencing by trying to avoid referencing that person?
Why don't we just speak of him as if we're looking for trade, but in a wink, wink, nod way?
Or if you give Kisar some time, he could think of a story that kind of parallels what's going on. And then he could tell you the story, and then we could figure out who's who in the story. And then it's just like, we really love this story, and we talk about it all the time.
Clove, can't you kind of like tiptoe around stuff like that? Like, isn't that the very reason why y'all speak in code? Isn't that the very reason?
Yeah, but that's with thieves. I mean, I don't think you would understand what I'm saying.
The hair on the back of your neck, you feel like you're being watched. Torek, you sense something watching that's not here. Like you're being
Okay,
spied
can
upon.
I use my perception to kind of pick up on what that is a little bit more?
That's all you know offhand is that you feel like you're being spied upon.
Okay.
Kisar
Some-
will
Like you look
casually-
around and you kind of reach out with your own senses that are obviously different than everybody else's in some way, and whatever it is not here, but somebody's watching.
Kisar will-
Then I'm gonna tell everyone too that we are gonna have to take this inside into more private quarters to discuss it further.
Getting that sense that we're being spied on again?
As soon as we mention the name, so this is what I'm saying. We should not say it.
Yeah, Kisar will start doing.
Fuck that guy. We shouldn't go looking for him anyway. I'm over it. I'm gonna try to start a trade agreement with this area, and I walk away.
I take the finger out of my pocket. I walk over to the side of the ship,
A place it like this.
and I fucking throw it off the side.
I go get my clothes on.
We haven't left. It's just in the courtyard.
Well, then once we get on in the sky or whatever, I'm throwing it over.
Interesting. Okay.
So
Okay.
we exclaim out loud that we're fucking done with this drama, and you throw the finger away, and you go get dressed.
I
Mama
want to do that
drama,
once
no
we
more.
can put it behind us because I need to
Right.
need to put some space in between where we're at, where we're going.
In there. Right.
Exactly.
Kisar plays "No More Drama in My Life" by Mary J.
So, are
Can
we
I
doing
before I do
the-
that? Can I cast detect magic on that finger? I want to.
You threw the finger.
What?
Can you post detect magic for me?
Yeah.
I like being specifics. I like specifics.
Where is that cantrip?
So, Clove, when we get to, because I guess we're going to Namro. Yay. Are we going to Namro or are we skipping it?
Namro was with the undead.
Yes.
I'd recommend skipping it because we've already been there. I don't really see that being a bustling trade hub as of now, but we could always hit it on the way back.
Okay. So on our way to town, the last day before we hit the port, we will swap and you will go in. You will pilot us in, so the approach and everything will be up to you. Whether we fly in, whether we go in on the water, it's up to you. And then from the moment you take command, you are Captain Rosemary. Like I will be there to assist because I'm the financier and I need to be close to you. But you will be in charge.
What kind of questions do we want to ask, just so I make sure we don't throw us completely off course?
No. I will be the speaking person as the financier. So don't worry about that. You just, if they ask you, you describe the craft, how much capacity, make up numbers. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Maybe don't tell them we have a flying ship unless you decide we fly in, and in which case there's no point to lie about it.
When we're being spied on,
Mhm.
if I cast it then, do I sense anything? Because I can cast this at will, essentially.
Mm-hmm. No.
The poor cat.
He's sitting in a D&D box. It's very
No, I
appropriate.
saw earlier. Yeah.
Mm.
The true face of
Roll
a
an
Tarrasque.
Arcana.
Me?
Mm-hmm. I know what you're looking for. I know the way those gears turn.
Yeah, I'm basically trying to figure out, like, because, like, the way scrying and stuff, I mean, I guess it's kind of meta, but we've always kind of come to the conclusion that we're being scryed on in some way.
Mm-hmm.
So if something's being scryed on, then that means, like, the way Hutch is thinking is, like, some type of magic is involved. And I want to know if I can essentially see it, because if you can see invisibility and stuff like that, so let's try.
I mean,
One.
we know for a fact we have been
Um,
spied upon.
Fine.
Is there any way I can help Hutch out with my insight or my own perception or my preliminary knowledge?
No, that's okay.
No.
From the detect magic, from the knowing that something's watching y'all again, knowing that you got the glasses from Davenport and how nonchalant it was just like, oh, here, you gotta take these. You get the impression it's more of from you're not sensing the magic or whatever the window of this is, because it might be too far away.
But I sense it.
You know that it's somewhere. It's not within the range of your detect magic.
Okay. So I know that there's just so we're on the same page. Hutch knows that there is some type of magic being used to be looked on that's being viewed at them, but he doesn't know where it's coming from, essentially.
If it's magical.
Okay. I'll stick to the initial plan. Cool. Just want to make sure we're on the same page. Once we're
I think that covered pretty
far
well.
enough away, I'm going to take the finger and I'm going to huck it over the side.
Okay. So like halfway to Namro, you walk up on deck and you
Fling
yeet
it.
the finger off the ship.
Yeet.
When Kesar sees Hutch just standing at the rail after he's thrown it, he goes, Kesar had the thought, maybe if we get like regeneration or something cast on the finger, maybe we just grow a whole new Flynn.
Well, too late now. It's gone. So,
Okay.
yeah. Also, I think one Flynn was enough in this world.
Yeah,
So
that's
you do
fair.
have Andronicus with you. What is the how long per day are you going to be traveling? Are we doing round the
The
clock?
round the clock, tag out stuff like we've always done traditionally.
Are you gonna
Captain
more-
Rosemary, how do you think we should proceed?
slow,
Around
leisurely?
for
During the
a
day.
much calmer, slower travel. Captain, I bow to your wisdom.
Well, there's a lot of freaking monsters, and I don't know. Like, so are you and I switching off?
Yes,
Pilot?
until the last day, and if you're not on shift, or we get in shift, then you have to like we will take a rest, so you can be the one to take us into port.
I feel like we could just travel constant. That's
Okay.
probably better than being a sitting and duck at night.
Okay, then Kisar will take the night shifts if you're all right with these.
And my name's Rosemary, friends. Rosemary.
All right, we are
Rosemary.
back.
Okay, now that we're back, since we're doing
Everything looks
travel, we're traveling around the clock. I did some math. If everything goes well and it's smooth sailing from there till you get there, even with depending on with no stops, you're looking at a week.
A week of travel.
Okay.
A week of travel full without stopping. If y'all stop in different islands or whatever, you can spend however long there you want, that kind of thing. But for travel wise, it's a
Would there be any reason to stop at any of the other islands?
I would, from the way that y'all talked about it,
At least a
depending
day or two to try and establish trade relations, I would imagine.
Yeah.
right, depending on what you find there, you might be there for a day or two. Are we stopping at Namuro?
No. Maybe on the way back.
Okay. Let me do a quick measurement.
I want to pull Clove aside,
Mhm.
because obviously
Captain
our
Rosemary, please.
Oh, excuse me, Captain Rosemary. Might I have a word with you? Oh, please, Captain Rosemary. My apologies, my condolences. I did not mean to insult you with such. I just want to have a quick word with you. I'll be honest.
Okay, yes.
I pull Captain Rosemary aside and say, our friend Kassar is clearly adamant not about stopping at Namro on the way to, which is fine. It wouldn't surprise me if he is adamant about not stopping by on our way back. However, I do think it would be a good idea to try to set up maybe some type of trade situation there, because it's a big area, it's well established. Yes, they might be undead, but we don't necessarily have a reason to not at least attempt. It would benefit us. Plus, we could even get that armor made there.
Yeah, we'll keep it in mind. We'll chat over this with the rest of the crew at some point before we head back, but I'm more so curious as to what we're heading into than what we're coming back through.
So it takes about a day to get to Namro, and then about 2 more after that to get to the Non-Satoon.
Ow.
What time of day do y'all leave from Vuldan?
I guess dawn, sunlight would be my guess.
Setting out early morning. Okay. So since I'm Kisar, who's on night watch? Okay.
I think it
And-
should be Kisar and
Turek.
Turek.
Okay.
Turok. Sorry.
So for now,
I believe his name is T-Dog.
Turok.
it's Hutch and
I'm
Clove.
down with the OG name.
So I need Hutch to call high or low.
Low.
Low. I need Clove to roll a D100. A percentile.
Uh,
2 10s. Or yeah. We'll say that's the 10s place,
30,
so 30.
yeah.
34.
Oh my
that was a
God.
great roll. That's
Good
exactly what we needed. Yay!
So
I just
low.
want you all to know
And
that
nothing happens, and we just keep
Yeah,
going.
right?
I'm eating
We
the
have a nice
best
muffin
vegan
for
It's
banana
gonna-
bread I've ever had.
I was
Okay.
just thinking about muffins, and now you're eating banana bread. I was thinking about banana
It's
muffins.
vegan chocolate
Vegan
chip
banana bread?
Mhm.
How?
Wow.
What makes it vegan?
It doesn't have
Exactly.
eggs
No.
or
There's no
dairy
milk. There's no
or
eggs in
any
it.
animal products. Although you
got
could
it.
debate that mushrooms are animal products, and you could debate that honey's an animal product. So you have to talk to vegans and make sure that you don't feed them something they don't want to eat.
There's no honey in it though. That's good.
Some vegans eat honey, so you just want to talk it out with your friends. I'm not the spokesperson for vegan.
She's right. She's right.
eating.
This,
I don't want to speak for anyone.
You're piloting. Roll a d20.
The best role of my life. Go. Yes. I got a 14.
We're in the clear for the first half of the day. During the day, everything's
If I crashed the flying pedal again, I would be so sad. It could still happen.
pretty much you don't even see anything. It's just open sailing. Like it's clear skies. It's a good day. There's actually a chill in the air. You'll notice you're starting to kind of want to keep a light jacket on as the months go on and it starts to get closer to the winter months.
Question.
For the story.
Question. So while we're doing this, can me and Hutch be trying to communicate with his celestial person?
If you want, I mean, so it's what is it, a 12-hour shift, and you have to have y'all have like 4 hours to do what you want.
Hutch thinks about it.
Do you want to burn that resource? So you only got one.
I
You
know.
don't know where it comes from.
I in my
Currently have no way of
inventory,
getting back.
I have 10 more candles.
They wouldn't be the right ones.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
Do we have enough questions to ask at this point to make it worth it? Or do we need to amass more questions we want to ask?
I mean, if we're on that
We should
route,
probably
I mean,
amass more
will
questions.
she really answer them the way we want them answered? Let's be real.
Yeah, well, Celestials can talk in tongues.
But Kisar would stay considered like a blunderbuss.
Yeah.
You fire a bunch of pellets, and hopefully some of them hit.
Yeah. I tell him
So-
I can, but if I do this, I do not know how and or when we will / I will get the resources to do this ritual. I can speak to her. I don't know if I just use the incense. If y'all can just talk. Do I know that, DM? Or is that only for me?
Roll an Arcana. Let's find out. You've done it a couple times. Let's see.
18 plus. Okay.
The incense only part of the ritual is a direct link because you have familiarity. It's your patron directly. It's a very private kind of conversation. For it to be the image and drawing her into the world temporarily takes the candles fully.
Are you sure this is something that you want to do, T?
I'm totally okay just waiting, Hutch. It's not that big of a deal. I have patience.
Okay.
What's a couple weeks or a year?
Yeah,
I honestly
you've
think
been
that's a
playing
better
for
idea
long
because we might be able to use this or lean into this a little bit later.
He'd probably wait like 300 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
like,
power
what's
nap it,
another-
bro?
I slept for 10K. What's another 450? It's no big deal.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Kisar has one more question about the Sunborn. Do you age only once every 10,000 years?
That would be.
That's a good question.
He ages over time. It's a very slow. Being
But
from,
like, would you have a birthday every year, or would it be once at
it'd be
10,000?
one
I would
cycle,
imagine a cycle. Yeah.
because he's not on a Vollarune calendar. He's on a celestial far realm.
Yeah, he's on a cosmic scale. Yeah.
So technically, what he's saying is, I've only had
4.
7 birthdays.
You're
So,
7. And man, you're getting screwed in birthday presents.
He's 7.
Yeah.
so vanilla, chocolate, or funfetti cake?
I mean,
Chocolate.
Chocolate? Okay.
I like how she's taking notes. I saw that.
Now it's Kisar and Turdik. Turdik, high or low?
Ooh, let's go high.
High. Okay. Kisar.
You hear Andronica's background? Already there.
Damn.
Right.
No.
He lives in a constant state.
So
Constant state.
that's 7 total.
I have preparations made for him when he gets home.
You
17.
said high. Okay.
Yes, we did not go well.
Okay.
17.
Actually, let's do it this way.
He's leaving
oh,
work in 2 minutes.
Okay.
Kisar, roll a d20.
Kesar will roll the d20. Is it piloting or just the d20?
Just a d20. This is just to see if there's anything out there.
Oh boy, here we go.
Okay.
8.
So the first day, during the day, first shift goes fine. There's nothing that happens. Second shift, everything's fine. It's a quiet night. Nothing on the horizon. As the dawn comes up, you see the island of Nam Ro off in the distance as y'all are getting ready to change shifts.
Call it now, y'all. Do we want to stop or are we flying by?
Captain Rosemary has already said that it would be more beneficial to stop on the way back. And as a humble crewman, I bow to the captain's whims.
I just look at Kassar and then I just straight look at Clove and I raise my eyebrows.
I agree that it's best to maybe explore that on the way back. There's a lot that we already know about that island, and there's not a lot we know going forward. So I'd rather take our time going forward and gather more information on the way back.
Kisar looks at Hutch. We had this conversation. This is not something Kisar is just making up.
This is true. You also were not there for the conversation I'd had with her just the other day. So mind your P's and Q's.
As you start,
There's a man who speaks so rudely.
I feel that we should make these decisions as a group.
They've woken you up and that you're on the deck. As you look at Nam Ro, and as you're starting to not approach, but kind of go alongside, as y'all are discussing and making the choice to kind of go on past Andronicus, who's not here, and Clove, you have a sudden horrible sense of terror. You are terrified to go to Nam Ro suddenly. Like, it is the last thing in the world that you want to do.
Who has that?
Clove.
And Andronicus?
And Andronicus. Like you all watch as Andronicus gets just I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. He gets kind of shaky and quiet and just like walks to the other side of the ship away from the island.
This is very strange behavior.
I mean, is it that strange? There were necromancers that wanted to eat us and kill us.
I mean, Kisar was uncomfortable with going there, but not that bad.
Clove, you can roll an insight. Because you're the only one that had this happen that's here, so you can roll an insight.
Oh my lord!
Dang. Dang.
Spaghetti monstering you now.
No,
I'm the spaghetti monster. Now I'm the spaghetti monster.
You know what? You're getting a whisper for that one.
Oh, secrets.
But you don't know that I have secrets, so maybe I don't want to tell you. Where's...
It's coming. There you go.
There's a lot of places to click.
It's on Fantasy Grounds.
If I
It's on
use
which one?
detect magic, do I sense
Oh,
anything?
sorry.
If you want to use it, it doesn't burn a spell slot,
No,
does
it's
it?
cantrip. I can just any day.
Is it just? Hang on, let me. I know it's a cantrip. Let me look at it real quick because there's a. This one. Yep.
Friends.
So yeah, it's not even a ritual. It's just
Yeah, I just sense it.
She's in true terror. She's flipping back and forth between the same page.
unless something's going on and you don't have the ability to just.
When Clove is looking at her notes, there's problems.
You don't sense anything within the range of it right now. What's going on is very confusing and surprising.
What?
I sent the DM a message in Discord.
Kisar looks at Hutch and just goes, like, Kisar does not like going there, but this is just because he does not like zombies and skeletons.
I will say
That is weird.
I run to the helm of
Even-
the ship and I like double our speed, heading the hell out of there right
Even
now.
though he's not here, Andronicus is feeling and sensing the same thing you would be.
I hightail us out of the range of this island.
The further you get away from it, the more it eases up, and it's by the time it's on the horizon behind you, you feel fine again.
So once I feel fine, I turn to the crew and I say, "Friends, I felt Zorok back stronger than ever, and I think we should pause before we re-enter that scenario.
How do you know it was Zorok?
Considering you friends killed him, I didn't want to kill him. I walked away, but some of our friends here murdered this necromancer friend. So I mean, he might want to make us into one of his reconstructed undead servants. So let's not revisit that.
And at least 50% of the people who participated in his murder would probably be okay with that.
How do you know it was Zorok?
I don't know. I just felt it, and I wasn't gonna stick around and poke my fingers in that beehive there.
We have to stop back on our way. I mean, we obviously, if it doesn't want us to, they're keeping us away for a reason. And 9 times out of 10, when things are trying to keep you away, there's got to be something there of interest, right? I mean, that's the way this stuff works. Am I a fool for thinking that?
But running into battle with hardly any resources is not wise. I feel like we could argue over this on the way back, but on the way forward, we need to be unified, and we need to try to sell these goods and find out where we can sell them. Wink.
I think you misinterpret my questioning what's going on for disagreeing with you.
Okay, well then we're on the same page. I just feel like on the way back, this should be a discussion as a group and not one person deciding. That's my only thing about it.
My character's just taking this all in and analyzing the dispositions of my new crewmate, I guess.
Yeah, 2 of them just freaks the fuck out, and the other 2 are like, "What's going on?"
Kisar,
we were talking about stopping,
to
and
not
we're just
flinch in the face of fighting the twins and all this stuff together. And I felt something very real and very scary. And you've had my back before, Kisar. Like,
yeah, Kisar is 100% okay with not stopping. It struck Kisar as weird, the vehement with which this hit you.
because you know I don't act like this.
No, exactly. That's why I think it's very, very weird.
all right.
Well,
so,
you know, I could be right, I could be wrong, but I don't think it's worth getting into this tussle right now while we're trying to get into something else.
You know what? Just in the background, as the side conversations are happening, Kisar pulls out his violin and puts, "Should I stay or should I go now?" Like,
That's fair.
just keeping it on point.
That's fair. So yeah, next shift, we're back to Hutch and Clove. Hutch, high or low?
Go high.
Gotta stay high. All the time.
All
Roll
the time? All
do the
the time.
D100. Miss Pilot. 80. 83. Okay.
The D is quite high.
That is quite
That
high.
is high.
That means
We meet a very nice puppy and it becomes our companion friend. We
He
meet
has to
a
think
dog.
about it.
It's our dog friend who's now our companion on the ship, and it's very cute.
Hutch,
you sneak
roll
a
a
puppy?
D20.
Did you sneak a puppy on the board?
8.
Of course.
Okay.
Oh, oops, sorry. I thought you
Nope,
told
that's
me
fine.
to roll
I need you to roll one too.
Oh, there. Ha.
Didn't know that until he rolled an 8, but there we go. That was a 15.
It was.
Hutch, roll a D10.
Every roll, just the suspense builds.
8.
It's an even cuter puppy
Great.
now.
Okay. Interesting. That's
The cutest puppy you've ever seen.
So I'm worried about this puppy.
This is a very cute puppy. You don't have to worry.
okay. I'm gonna do that in a minute. Once you're not on shift,
Well, that's not good.
roll a perception.
Yeah.
Hutch, you're on watch. Roll a perception.
He knows it's the cutest puppy, but we don't know it's the
With-
cutest puppy.
With true advantage.
Well, we got a
That good, huh?
natural 1. But because of 2 advantage, I also rolled. Give me a minute. A 14.
Okay. You see a giant storm cloud coming up very quickly. Like the storm's coming straight at you. What you see that makes it different than just, oh, we got a storm coming in. The silhouettes that you had seen before, whenever you and Kisar were up on night shift,
Those.
you see one of those inside the cloud.
So we see those sky giants or whatever they were.
You see one of those inside the cloud every once in a while on the lightning flashes.
Kind of look at it for a minute. I want to go ahead and radio my celestial friend.
Okay.
And have him come up and ask him if he knows if these things mean. I mean, is he conscious? Is he awake?
It could be. It wouldn't impact his downtime.
I ask him to come up post haste.
I go up
And
immediately.
And I point that out and ask him if he knows if these things are hostile or anything like that.
Clove, roll a perception as well.
So what do these things look like?
What you see is a giant storm cell. Just a massive storm cell moving toward
Okay.
you pretty quickly. Inside of it, you see the silhouette of a massive giant, like massive giant. That's when the lightning crashes. It's like silhouetted behind the giant.
Can I roll a insight?
Perception, right?
What do you want to roll, or what do you want to roll for? What are you trying to discover?
Just to see if I know anything about the creatures or if I could get more details about the creature.
Really nature.
How
Clove at
about
a 15. When Hutch calls up Turdik and points to the cloud and starts talking to Turdik.
That's a natural 20.
Ship.
Good job.
Okay.
Oh.
Point and starts talking to Turdik up at the front of the ship. You look up and you also see the silhouette of some giant being in the clouds that are either controlling or is made of the lightning in a way. You are at the helm. You have full range to pilot the ship how you want, but the storm cell's coming kind of straight at you. Y'all are on a more or less a collision course with the storm cell. With a 20, you've heard stories. One of the peoples of this world that has lived longer than most of the other ones. They were one of the original peoples of this world, and various sizes, but they are monstrous, huge things that make you look small. They think that they still own the world. There are not many of them left, and the ones that are left kind of have their own. They've staked their claim in different regions of the world. To your knowledge, you're trespassing right now.
Oh. Okay. Well, I'm going to immediately relay that to my crew, my fellow crewmates, and especially to the captain, that we are essentially trespassing on this being's area.
Am I awake?
You're on,
Yeah,
you're on
you're
the helm.
piloting.
I'm piloting. Oh.
Yeah. You know that it's some kind of giant.
Do I know if giants are typically like? Can I convince a giant to let us go through, or are they typically hostile?
With the being from where you are and just having heard about it more of a story of that kind of peoples of Vollarune, you're not sure.
Kisar replies back. Kisar has a giant one for you. Hold on.
So Clove, you're headed straight for this storm with a giant inside of it, almost using the storm like this chariot to pull it across the sky. What do you want to do?
Is there
Is it riding? Is it riding toward us?
Mhm.
Straight at you.
Is there a way
Straight
to
at us?
circumvent
I
it?
wanna.
Like go around it? I'm asking Clove.
That's what I'm trying to do.
All right, never mind.
Roll a
Yeah.
piloting.
I'd like to veer off to the left, as much as we can, and kind of dip down slightly in a very like reverent kind of. We are getting the hint and averting kind of manner.
Your pain and panic from Hercules. We are worms.
Vow. And in the meantime, I also want to speak with Turek and see if they know if there's any way to appease giants. Is there-
DM, would I know on how to appease the giants?
You rolled a 20.
Can I give you a little something here? Come
I
on.
like
Come
brownies.
on.
I
know
don't
that they
like
can be-
brownies. No.
know that-
Chocolate cake? Vegan chocolate cake?
they can be
Chocolate
bargained.
bars. Meatballs?
They can be bargained with, but it's
Oh.
not sure how difficult it would be.
Okay, so I want to alert the
Can
crew.
I fly up to it? Can I be shot through the cannon right at the
No!
No, it's
No,
only a
I
five.
wanna-
Only a small, like a 5-pound cannon.
Okay.
So you would,
Dang.
Okay, so yeah, we veer off to the
Whoa.
that what happened?
Power cat
It's
butts.
fixed now, whatever that was.
Yeah, he whipped the microphone with his tail, and it seemed like some alert came up, and now he's attacking my hoodie. Um,
You're fine.
Cats.
so we're fighting giants and mancoons at the same time.
yeah, roll a piloting.
A giant mancoon.
Roll a what?
Piloting. I think you have a piloting.
No, I don't.
I thought
Well,
What would
Not
have
my-
you roll?
should be in my skills.
B.
Yeah, it's not in my skills.
You know what? It is now. You've been piloting long enough. You have piloting because you need piloting. And this, what is that? What did I give that to you on Kisar? Was it Dex?
Wisdom.
So I'm gonna keep it the same. Wisdom
Should I
it is.
just roll wisdom?
Nope, you have a piloting now. You might have to close the page and reopen the page, but it's on there.
Okay, close it, reopen it. What was that noise? I don't see it.
Under skills.
Nope.
Roll a wisdom check. That'll work. Actually,
Wisdom?
just roll a d20 plus 5.
D20 plus 5. 5. D20. Oh, jeez.
We're going down. I'm yelling timber.
Turn and go into a shallow dive and bring it down pretty close to the water. You notice the water has started to churn and the waves are getting pretty, like you're getting close to like 10-foot waves at this point from the storm coming through. You're going this way, right? And it's still coming at you from this way. It's shifted a little bit to kind of try to keep up with you and keep going towards you. Go again.
I what?
Go again.
Go again? 5 again?
Yep. We got 3 of them. You're still technically in it still thinks you're a 15. Okay. Noticing that it's kind of coming alongside of you, you raise the ship up just a little bit because the waves are starting to, the closer it gets, the waves start to get bigger. You just hammer it and just push it, the throttle up all the way and get it going, and you're able to stay kind of even with it, but it's keeping up for now. This is like at this point, it's been like 3 hours into this chase. Roll it one more time.
I'm scared. No. Bye.
Ooh. Yikes.
Come on.
Well, just give it to us straight, man. What's happening? What's going on?
I told you there was a 50-50 chance I'd fuck this ship up again.
But you're right by the water. Fall damage will be minimal.
The
Really
storm
though?
has
It will.
the swell is still ridiculous.
Correct.
You don't notice as much lightning anymore. It's
I can't believe that.
it's like the storm's kind of it catches up and is on top of you. This is like what would have been part of your day and part of your 12-hour shift. This is like 6 hours in trying to outrun this thing. You're roughly 900 miles perpendicular to the way that you were going just to try to outrun this thing that's kept up with you. About the time that everything, like the storm's like right behind you and you're starting to feel the rain, there's a wall of lightning that comes down just right in front of the ship. You have the choice of either stopping the ship to avoid, like, what would normally be lightning is just like a wall of lightning that's just sitting in front of the ship far enough out to where you can stop if you want to.
Or what? What's the other decision? Just keep going?
You can try to turn a different direction and go around it, but
Commit.
With the wall of thunder striking and the sound of the storm, Kisar comes out onto the deck and goes, "What is happening?"
when you look up, you see this giant cell above you, talking to Hutch and Todik. You very quickly realize that the giant meeting that you had seen on the way back to Rayori, one of them has found you, or another one on his way to the meeting, or something is here.
Have you tried evading?
Yes.
Okay.
I've
Slowly-
tried evading it.
Climb. Get
So
us
close.
away from the water.
What would you like to do? Because it does have, you can just kind of stop and hover if you would choose, but it's up to
I
you.
mean, I think I'd choose to stop and hover.
Would get a little bit above the water. We don't want him storing up.
Yeah, we can.
You're
We
not
can.
at risk of the water. Like, you're high enough to where
Okay.
even though there's like a 20-30 foot wave in the middle of the ocean of swell that's coming up, you're above it enough to where it's not an issue. Okay. You
Okay, let's go talk to a giant.
pull back on the throttle and
Captain Rosemary.
throw it into hover, and you stop. Wow, I had not prepared for anything like this. Cause yay, random.
Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
What is this?
Inaccurate size. As you're studying the screen, you hear this massive clap of thunder, and you see this giant hand reach down from the cloud, and your ship
Picks up the ship.
picks it up, and then you're standing on the ship, this little bitty person face to face with this giant that's made of lightning and clouds and energy.
I go into a very, very, very low bow and introduce myself as Captain Rosemary of this fine ship.
Kisar glances back at the other two and likewise goes into a deep, abasing bow.
Very, very deep. Very
With my knowledge of the giants, would I know the best way to kind of interact with them, or how to at least initiate a conversation with them?
If it was somebody else that rolled the 20, maybe, but you're from the far realms, so you have
Dang. Okay.
they can be bargained with, and they're not unreasonable, but they're like their culture and everything is very foreign.
Can Kisar try and not nature check to help Clove?
Roll a history first. Let's see what you know of giants first. Actually, all three of you, go ahead and roll a history first.
Oops. I might have rolled the wrong thing first. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
You said history?
Oh, 20.
See,
8.
see, you're fine.
I did
Yes,
the
history.
thing.
11.
11. Okay. Kisar and Hutch. It's a giant. It's bigger than any stories that you've ever heard. Any stories that you've heard growing up was, oh, giants are terrifying, and if you find you don't want to run into one, then they're one of the things that go bump in the night or whatever. You've heard stories of giants that are the size of mountains, and the mountains are literally giants, and the storms that you see at night are sometimes the storm is the giant. It's not there's not a giant in it. It's like the storm is the giant kind of thing. They are forces of nature more than they are an actual people. The Clove, given your run of the world and your background and your training to learn how to do things, you've met giants before. Like you, not a storm giant. The storm giants are the royalty of the giants, but you've met some of the other giants before.
Have
So
I
you're going-
negotiated with them and known what they usually are looking for or
You've
would
been
want?
there when negotiations were done. You haven't done it directly yourself, but you're familiar with the pomp and the procedures of how to bargain with a giant. So, we're gonna play off of you. So the same way that Andronicus is, whenever he met Ossian, and it was whatever he came up with was that's the lore, and that's that what he talked was made into reality. Whatever, however you present yourself or however you do things, depending on maybe I make a couple of rolls, but that's how you engage with giants. So get fancy with it, or get weird with it.
Just
Make it
a
different.
handshake and we escape completely safe. I'm just kidding. No.
Maybe we'll see.
Kisar whispers while he's still about, should we offer him a gift?
Oh, I thought you were leading somewhere with that. Sorry.
No, I'm asking you, because should we
Uh,
offer him a gift?
I feel like we should just offer our deepest condolences for impeding upon his territory and make it clear that we meant no physical threat to his base and that we don't mean to try to overtake this space.
Do you tell him that?
Kisar?
You tell
The giant.
No, first I just tell Kisar and the crew that, and then I want to face the giant and just let them know that we meant no offense by crossing through the space. We didn't realize it was their territory, and that we plan on invading and leaving as soon as we are allowed.
Do giants speak common?
Hmm.
Because
Good question.
Meta giant is its own language.
Giant is its own language.
The higher in, I don't know if you do the ordering, but typically the higher you go, the more they speak.
Usually, as you bow very low, like very lowly, and present yourself, and we're sorry for trespassing. We were just trying to pass through. We did not realize this was your territory. We have no ill will. We're just travelers making our way to Namsutun. It's a very soft voice for such a big person. Is, who are you? Where do you come from?
I want to communicate with the group and ask if we should present ourselves as the guardians of Aldan.
I mean, it couldn't hurt to tell him we're the champions of Aldon, although I don't think it'll make that big a difference to him.
If you do
Yeah, I
decide
don't know.
to
I
do
think
that,
he would
yeah, I would not.
comprehend.
I would like where he's going. I say 100%. If we decide to represent ourselves that way, I would make a strong suggestion that we are here, but we're not using that as like a statement of intimidation.
Yeah, we are simply
Okay.
this is who we are, and we are humble servants.
Exactly.
So I very quickly relay to the giant. We are very grateful and humbly traveling through this area, just as simple champions of all dawn. We're just exploring the area and just trying to see how we can be helpful in such a desperate time like this.
Champions. Do you know Wolfthor?
Pardon?
Do you know Wolfthor?
Can Kizar roll to see if he knows a story about Wolfthor?
You three would be able to roll a history on Wolfthor. It being a specific entity, sadly, Toruk wouldn't have any information on Wolfthor.
Will there be any way I can interact with the giant, or is there nothing I can really do it because I don't know anything about him?
Conversation. I mean, depending on if you jumped into conversation or jumped into the middle of the conversation, it might change things a little bit for better or for worse. But yeah, I mean that's.
Well, I'm just gonna full send it. I'm just gonna talk to John and let him know that I am from the stars.
He looks at you whenever he looks at you, and are you settling with these people?
I didn't hear you. Can you say that again?
Are you sailing with these people?
For now,
Your
as
turn
I
will wait.
learn more about this world and people.
And he look like you watches the giant eyes shift like just this little bit, and he looks at Clove and goes, "Keep your friends in check. We are having a conversation."
I will. Thank you. I apologize for that.
16, what would you have on your history?
I rolled a 8. Hang on. 8.
Kisar had
11.
a 6, right? 11. Kisar had a 6. Okay. Had an 8. Okay. So Kisar and Hutch, the name is non-familiar. Clove, you know, Wolfthor as the giant liaison. He's kind of the ambassador they've sent around before. He's the herald of the giants. Outside of that, you never met him or anything. It's just any time that there was the giants send somebody out to represent them, it's Wolfthor.
Oh yes, he's the ever so respectable and brave giant who has made their communications with us so far. I mean, I've heard of him. I've never had the honor of meeting him, but he has had a lot of connections to, the circles I kind of run in.
You are a well-traveled child. You are headed to... Where are you headed? Why are you in my territory?
Honestly,
Why are you in my sky?
I apologize for that, and I appreciate you speaking with us about it. Honestly, we're on search for places to do trade or to assist people during these times. We've meant no harm. We're just traveling the area and just trying to make new connections, and we really appreciate you just talking this out with us. Oh, DM's doing this. That's scary.
Not necessarily a bad thing.
Roll a perception or roll a persuasion.
Come on, Fran. Yeah,
What?
Fran.
As you
I'm pervasive and persuasive.
here we go. So as you present yourself to the giant and you explain that you're on your way to Nam Satun and you're going to travel to the other Noms to seek trade to help rebuild the keep and everything, you're very forthcoming with information. From having been at a giant meeting before, it's you lay every card on the table and it's whatever you walk away, nobody talks about it afterwards, that kind of thing. It's a very private conversation. It's very, if information that's given that is private information is discovered later to have been shared elsewhere, that was supposed to be private information. It's expected that party's secret, whoever's secret was shared, they're going to go hunt down whoever shared it. Giant honor. You quickly point to Hutch and send him a quick telepathic go get the cube. Kind of knowing vaguely what she's talking about, and you run down and you grab the dwarven cube with the cogs in it and everything. That's just this trinket, and you bring it up and close a gift for trespassing and to garner our passage. And you present this little bitty dwarven box to this giant, and he very carefully, 2 fingers on his other hand, just, and you'll notice he puts it like in a pocket on his shirt, and he's like, very well. When you return, you will travel by sea. And he sets you down in the ocean, and the waters are still.
I say agreed, and just overly thank him for every convenience and how politely he sat us down in the water and how he allowed us to go through his sky, and that we will keep that in mind in the future. Thank you.
Yeah.
And then
so that happened, the kind of the long island between Namro and Namsatun, that happened around that island. Kind of that halfway point.
Oh, your face is so wet.
Narrow but wide island there. Yeah, the rest of that day, the next shift goes without issue. The next morning shift goes without issue. Y'all spend roughly half a day making up the difference in time from the movie, and also the veering off course for that many hours. It is the following night, and it's Kisar and Turuk on watch.
Really quick, before we go too far out, I would love to mark the map as to where we shouldn't be in the sky. Like very,
That's
very
smart.
like brightly like neon pink highlighter, just like no.
Let me see.
Do not trespass. Do not enter.
No,
Do
don't
not
do
collect
that.
$200.
Yeah, right.
It's casual Friday.
Hi.
I can do it this way. Let me pull up GIMP real quick.
What's Andronicus been up to?
Oh, we're hanging out on the boat. We're on the way to. We're traveling.
Do we have a bathroom break coming up where we can
Yeah. You know what? He just got here. Let's take a quick 5 and catch him up on what's been going on, and then when we come back, we'll just keep going from here.
Tarek, I'm Andronicus, by the way.
Pleasure.
Good to meet you, buddy.
All right. Well, we'll be back here in just a couple minutes.
We will be back soon, y'all.
do it too?
So we're gonna be here.
We're
Oh,
live.
wait, are we live?
All right, we're back.
Hi.
And let's see, that was. So it needs to be second shift. He's not here. So I'm gonna have Clove roll for that.
Am I on
I'm
shift?
so excited.
Hutch, high or low? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna throw Andronicus into this. He can be on day shift.
Oh shit.
Hi. Actually, no, let's go low.
Going low. Okay. We're gonna get low.
I roll?
Low. Roll a percentile. Yes. 50. 9. Okay.
That's like the highest lowest.
It's like high low, yeah. It's like right in the middle.
Ah.
It's like right
don't
on
like
the
that
cusp.
face you're making. No.
Math is hard. So that's that or less. Okay. Andronicus.
Yeah.
Roll a d20.
Oh shit.
Did you set a timer for the pizza, Andronicus?
Yeah.
Thank you,
Ooh.
Andronicus. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, nighttimes. For the rest of the until it's about dark while y'all are on the ocean sailing past the island where the storm had kind of chased y'all. you notice, like, you keep looking back behind the ship, and off just on the horizon, the storm is still following you until you get kind of toward the edge of its territory, and then it stops following you completely. The rest of that day goes fine. It's coming up as dawn breaks. You see Nam Satun, or what you, from the maps and everything that you have, what you believe to be Nam Satun on the horizon.
Oh, about damn time. I guess we all get ready to dock this vessel.
Yeah,
Oh, Andronicus, we also threw Flynn's finger off the edge of the boat.
we threw the finger.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I did.
Get rid of that thing.
All right. So, yeah,
Before
y'all.
grows something.
And our guys traveling is that we're trying to start a trade route. Do not mention finding Flynn.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Thank you.
Well, if we're approaching, are we like close to land, or is it going to be a bit?
It's on the horizon. As you start to, what you can see. Yeah, let me do this. Let me.
Mr. DM, do I have any idea what this island even looks like? What the people on there are? If there are people, is it even inhabited? We have no idea, right?
Let me think. Would anybody?
Would I know anything
I
from
will check my map with my special glasses.
Clove might.
military knowledge?
Andronicus might.
I definitely wouldn't.
No. Yeah. Clove could roll a history. Andronicus could roll a history with a -2. Since your
What about
memory.
Kizaru?
Can I also check out my map with like the special glasses on?
With the maps, they're just they show you what's on the map, like the world map. Like what you see on the world map is what it would show you.
We know nothing.
Would Kizaru know with his sailor background?
You can roll the same as Andronicus. Yeah, history with light disadvantage. No, am I not finding that?
16?
Okay.
No, I'm sorry, 18.
Oh, disadvantage.
With the -2?
Yeah, I gotta get, because I got a +2 to history.
Oh, it's a
Nice.
balance.
It's very nice. No, just stop doing that. Show me what I actually want. Hey.
I gotta stop clicking on the actual skill because it never rolls well. If I roll independently and then add it, it usually goes better.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Okay, and so Kisar, you have you know that it's a very, for where it is, surprisingly inhabited trade port. Pretty much any trade that goes to any of the other island countries or any trade out in the seas this far north all comes through Satun.
Which is
And-
essentially what we want to make our little island. Well, we just lost one.
Oh,
Yeah, it
He'll
was
be
you.
back.
Oh, no, it was him. Oh,
Whoa!
Yeah, I saw that too.
JD, are you okay?
I felt like I was looking at the monolith from A Space Odyssey 2001.
Yeah, it spazzed out for sure. Now no
My
camera
mind
connection.
expanded and freaked the
Beat
fuck
the
out.
DM! Woo!
Yeah,
We really are the champions of Aldone.
We beat the DM. This is how you win Dungeons and Dragons.
he has
It's
been
D&D.
We
We
won
won.
a game.
celebrate with pizza. Oh shit!
You almost
Oh,
lost
Oh,
the
that's
pizza.
what I had for dinner. I had real nice mom and pop style pizza. You know, the real big slices with a thin crust.
I have leftover enchiladas that I homemade yesterday in the fridge for
Nice.
dinner tonight.
well, I
Slash
have
wet
ramen,
burritos.
so just saying.
Big brain power.
What kind of dog do you have?
He is a German Shepherd Chow Chow.
Oh my god!
I saw the German Shepherd, but now I
Yeah.
see the Chow Chow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mars,
So-
their her name is Mars, and they were sleeping on the bed.
There
They're
it is.
super cute.
He's a lazy boy. We let's see, I adopted him last November. Yeah, November. So he's been a handful. When we got him, he had a ton of anxiety.
Aw.
Yeah,
Give him all the belly rub.
Little
very aggressive at first too.
So I don't know if
Wow.
y'all
now
can
you're just
see
a
it, but
softie.
right here, actually, the scars I have on my face, right there. When I was like 4, a chow. Like a chunk out of my
Yeah,
cheek.
that's what they do. Chows, I learned, are not very good around kids.
I was young, dude. I didn't know what I was doing. He was eating, and I tried to pet it. I didn't know any better.
Yeah.
I wasn't mad at the dog.
Yeah. And chows are very stranger danger, like
Yeah.
super.
They have purple tongues.
Well, they were
Like a
This
giraffe.
tongue is huge.
they were bred as security dogs.
Yeah.
They
For,
were
like,
security
Chinese
for,
royals, right?
They were supposed to be like security dogs for like royalty, right?
Yeah. I think what was it, the Queen of England, they use them routinely as guard dogs, so yeah.
And they're very loyal.
Stubborn. So
I like
And when you
seeing
combine his
it.
when you combine his German Shepherd,
you get a crackhead.
There we go. Okay.
Cute. Let me see. I'll pull up. I'll DM you guys a picture of my other dog too. He looks just like him, or her.
Aww.
Kisar, you know that it's a trade hub. You know that it's a very populated area. You know that the island is covered in very, very dense jungle. There's actually a larger population of your people here. And if you go to the maps tab, you have a Nomstatun image to just kind of show you what you're seeing as you roll up on the water into port.
Ooh. Very Assassin's Creed. Okay. So Kisar, the island of Namjatun is a trade hub with dense jungles and a fair tabaxi population.
you don't say. Very beautiful.
And you may address me as Sadwisk
Oh, no.
Cadgore.
Yeah, and I'm Captain Rosemary.
It's pretty good, eh? Kisar is amazing.
You're gonna have to.
Should
send
we
that
assign
one-
names to everyone?
You're gonna have to use
sorry?
it again.
You did.
Oh, because I definitely am not gonna remember that.
It's in the things.
Fantasy Grounds is crashing.
Is it?
For me, it is. It's about to.
Why? Why, computer?
I got the image pulled up as soon as I pulled it up.
Mine worked fine.
I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, I'm okay on my end.
I'm gonna have to close it again.
It's not good. These things happen, though.
Yeah, it seems fine on my side. It is important that you understand Tabaxi culture are very, very caring and will quite literally give till it hurts. However, that does not make us pushovers, it rather exemplifies the good qualities in us.
Yeah, it crashed.
Why did your
Dang
name, why'd your voice change?
Yeah.
Kisar is no Sadwisk Cadgore, which is a different person than Kisar.
So yeah,
Oh
y'all
my god.
pull into port after you take a little bit of time to adjust yourselves and get yourselves ready.
Do we notice it? Oh, sorry. Do we notice an airport on the way in, or is it just a seaport?
From what you can tell, or from what you see on your approach, it's just a seaport.
Just a seaport. I suggest that we sail in.
The what you see of the land from whenever you're up higher and from afar is just a vast jungle with this trade city kind of on the edge of the water.
I am Captain Rosemary. This is Thadwisk Cadgore, our trade master and financer.
Bad whisk?
Thadwisk.
Sadwisk.
TH.
Sadwisk.
Tarak is our herald, and running security is Andronicus and Hutch.
Dope.
So now we all know our roles as we approach.
Yeah. I'll secure the shit out of you guys.
Thank you.
No problem.
Again, it is important that you remember tabaxis are very welcoming. So
as you
They're very what?
approach, it's
welcoming.
Okay. Cool. Got
as
it.
you approach, and the docks are super busy. There's ships coming in and out constantly. From an hour ago, whenever y'all were coming in, you could see ships like on the horizon, just in and out in all the directions. Same thing once you get closer. There's just more and more ships. The ships are leaving. Ships are coming in. There's ships that are anchored off port a little ways, and there's little personal boats that are ferrying things back and forth for people and stuff. And without much issue, after waiting a little while, you find a dock where you can make anchor and tie off and everything. There's no dock master or anything. It's just people running back and forth, and everybody's like doing their own business.
I need to ask the group real quick. So, is Turak like kind of MVP right now? Is he like most valuable? Because we just
is this where I come in and I start like doing my thing?
Yeah, if you want to.
I mean,
Okay.
Because if
Just
I'm
the new
running
guy.
security, I just need to know who I need to stay with the most.
I don't think any one person is more valuable or important.
But he might be a target. 'Cause
Well, if
he's-
I'm the hero, right? Aren't I the one getting all the attention toward us?
You're the front man.
Yeah.
The
the
other
face
two
of
would
the
be
group.
the other two would be the more protected. The captain would be protected by one of you, and then the financial advisor and the money would be the other protected person, or the money would be protected by both of you, and the other two are hired help kind of thing.
Okay, well, whoever thinks they need my assistance, that's who I will. protect.
I would say that Andronicus, you stay with Captain Rosemary. It's a tabaxi fault. It should be fairly safe, but tabaxis are very inquisitive creatures, so watch your pockets.
Got it. Buttons.
Hutch, you should be between myself and our herald.
All right.
And again, tabaxi is very inquisitive, so we might get stopped several times just to be asked questions.
Okay.
So we're looking to go set up shop, right?
We're looking for a trade.
We're gonna
master.
pause.
Trade.
We're gonna
Okay.
pause.
Okay.
Pause for a minute. I don't normally, we don't get these, so they never get called out. Jax, thank you for the $40 donation when we were down. Thank you. 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 Thank you.
Jax.
Jax, thank you so much.
Ayo.
Thank you, bro. We love you. You're the MVP. Jax is MVP.
Pizza,
Andronicus will protect you.
Pizza.
All right.
I got a
Jack
big
the
That
flyer.
came through when we went down.
Jax is now the official face of our party.
This beer.
Ooh,
Cheers,
that
Jack.
gives me an idea.
Cheers.
That gives me a wonderful idea.
Chambo left.
Are we all rolling out together?
Yes.
I think we are, right?
Yeah.
We should find the trade master, and anyone along the dock that works on the dock should be able to point us in his direction.
I mean, I
And
think
then
we should just follow
Thadwisk
Star's lead.
Tadgol.
Oh, we should just follow Thadwisk's lead because Thadwisk knows this culture.
Yeah, Thaddy, I'm with you.
I guess I'll be right behind him then as well.
I'm gonna stay toward the back for my long range.
Ooh. Okay. That's what's gonna happen. That's awesome.
Oh, that's a good sound.
Somebody's here. I'll just whisper it in Fantasy Grounds. That's a little bit faster.
No.
If I can click the right way. There we go.
Hutch, my dear friend, though your sarcasm biting and quite droll, perhaps we put a cap on it for the time being.
What happened?
That's
You rolled
happened.
18.
Yes, there does not seem to be a message.
He's making a face.
Not for all of you.
Mm.
I
Ah.
can see your face.
Over.
And
All
it
right.
gave time Hutch to get back.
Okay, I am going to
I can't look at Andy.
without the rest of the group really. Well, actually, everybody but
Let me paint the picture. Y'all are
Yeah, go
walking
for it.
off the dock up to the streets. Turdik has a couple, like he's up at the street. The rest of you are kind of on the on ramp kind of thing, as it were. He's out front. Behind him is Hutch. Behind him is Kisar, who's trying to look as regal and proper as he can. And then it's you and Clove bringing up the back.
I want to be looking for any guild symbols as we descend,
um,
especially hits to kill.
whether Captain Rosemary can do that, but I am going to walk directly in front of her, and I am hand on the hilt, ready to draw. Yeah, I'm looking for trouble if it's looking for me.
Oh no.
Just saying.
What I sent you is happening. They're probably 15 feet away. You can't see hands. All you can see is a body kind of hunched over, walking towards you.
Well, then in my offhand, I've got my main hand is on my main sword,
Your man hand.
and my offhand is ready.
That
with,
sounds dirty.
That's what he said.
I didn't say my
The
man
man
hand.
means
I said my
business.
main
He
hand.
said my man
My
hand.
main hand.
He's on my
So I'm ready to strike. That's
Okay.
all I'm going to say. If this dude or whoever tries to do anything,
I should
You
be
haven't-
using the person protecting me. I
You
take
haven't
it back.
drawn. You're just at the ready.
well, I've got kind of like a cloak kind of thing on, and I've got my hand on my sword ready to draw and swipe if I have to. But
Okay.
my offhand is holding one of my throwing axes ready to go.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Ooh, throwing axes. All right. Heck yeah.
I will say, you know what?
And
you alone roll for initiative.
What's gonna happen here?
We're about to see some like Assassin's Creed style situations.
oh Jesus.
What bunk
As
and niche
you-
rolls?
As you reach in behind your back and pull out one of your hand axes, and you get your other hand on your weapon ready to go, this person who saw the boat come in, and you've kind of been scouting, you notice they've been walking from like 60 feet away and just with intent straight at the group. They, with both hands, just kind of open up and just lunge. Yeah. I'm just going to do this twice. Each one has a +4. You at least were able to get in the way. 19, so that's a crit, and a 9, that's a 13 total.
Once we see the attack, can we engage as well? Okay.
You may not have to.
Okay.
So one crits, and the other one is a 13 against your AC.
The 13 is going to be a miss.
I think it is.
Yeah, the 13 is a miss, and then on
The
the
other one's a crit.
The other one. So, what is the total number for the crit?
Give me just a second, I can tell you. You take...
Hold on, before anything, because against that crit, depending on what it is, I'm going to roll Scout's Evasion.
Oh, does that change the roll, or does it change the total?
That adds to my AC.
It won't matter against the crit.
No, it's an auto hit. 20s are always a hit no matter what.
Okay. Well,
Ones
then,
are always a miss.
in that.
In
I might
combat.
be
In
able,
combat, yeah.
I might be able to uncanny dodge too.
Um,
Whatever's I don't know what's happening,
well,
but I might be able to dodge it.
What's happening right now is as you were approaching the ramp that they've built to come up off the docks onto the main street, Andronicus had stepped between you and one side and kind of not hard, but had pushed you back a little bit and then reached and drawn a weapon and readied another one as he tried to cut somebody off that was approaching the group. So you take, you take 8 damage as this person has come up and just lunged with both hands over their head, and you were able to kind of skirt back from one, but whenever you shifted the other one, you got a dagger plunged into like your shoulder.
That's cool.
Oh damn!
It's no biggie.
Yeah. So
I'll
now
fuck-
it's you.
I'll fuck
You have your response, your turn.
So first things first,
Restrain that.
I'm going to instantly. Hold on.
We're being attacked by a Maine Coon.
Okay, first things first. I drop the hand axe
Mhm.
and immediately double hand my dwarven short sword of strength, and we're
I
going.
don't think you
to-
have to.
Short shirt.
I
I
don't.
think that's one of your things is you don't have to.
Well, if I don't, then I'm not going.
Yeah,
to.
you can. Whenever you attack with versatile property with one hand, you may roll damages if you're holding both hands.
That's right. I forgot.
You
It's
took
a
that feat.
versatile.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
So I am going to keep the hand axe in my offhand. And can you do offhand attacks outside of your main attack?
It counts
No,
as your bonus
attack
action.
and then offhand. Yeah, you have to attack first.
But that would also take the place of a bonus action, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So I am going to hit him with a double attack.
Yeah,
since
because
I
you have 2 attacks now.
first. And so
Because you have 2 attacks now.
here goes number 1.
Okay.
No.
Jeez.
And then
Jeez.
here goes number
You're
2.
Okay. Roll damage twice.
We need
There's
to
that.
question the thing.
Oh, are they just commoners?
It's gonna be like decimated.
From what we see, from what I see, do they just like commoners as we see this going off? Mr.
And
DM?
then
Give me just a second.
for my bonus action, I would like to. Actually, you know what? I'm good. Unless I can attack with my offhand, I would like to.
Oh no, that would have been with your offhand as well. So that that you have 2 attacks.
We have
That's right.
2
Never mind.
attacks, yeah.
Yeah, you would still be able to use your bonus action to attack again.
Okay, so
2
We don't
times
want to question it.
that's going to be for the
with
hand
your
axe.
attack.
Damn, what is
that hits.
attacking us? What do you know?
And do it again because you. The way I do bonus actions is if you, for each extra attack you have an extra bonus attack if you do offhands because it's otherwise there's no reason to ever
like
offhand attack.
1
Yeah.
and then 2.
So if you have 2 weapons, you can go 1-2. There's no reason you can't also go 1-2.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. You walk, like you kind of push Clove just a little bit out of the way, and this thing comes in and just shunk and shanks you with this dagger right in between your collarbone, and you come up with both weapons and just start cutting this thing to pieces. When you get done, there's just this cut up, stabbed, bloody mess on the ground in front of you. And you walk over and pull the cowl of the cloak back. There's a sigil carved on its forehead. Clove, you know what the sigil is. You're very familiar with it. But it's a Tabaxi commoner. Like it's just this. It looks like just a middle-aged Tabaxi person.
Real quick, I would like to search the body, see if there's any kind of notes or scribes or any kind of messages, like maybe an order they were following.
On the body, you find. So the sigil on their head is your clan sigil, Clove. You've never seen it carved like that on anybody before or anything. It's very suspicious and very odd to see it like that. because that's knowing the way that your clan does things, having it marked like that somewhere just out in the open. It's a death mark, kind of like that person's going to be killed by a clan member if somebody else doesn't kill them first. Because it's a clan secret kind of thing, right? And on the body, you find a piece of paper with the same marked for death on one side and the closed sigil on the back side.
Oh shit! So that was an assassin, technically.
Kisar, real quick, hisses. Don't say anything about being a champion of Voldan just yet. We'll hold that in reserve, okay?
That's fine. I want to grab Kassar by his coat and kind of bring him in close and be like, "Do you think we should hang on to this body? Because I just happened to kill Coat Epoxy."
Do we
Streets
want
kind of-
to interrogate it?
It's
Streets
dead.
Streets have emptied
I could
out
revive
in
it.
the area.
So can I,
There's,
actually.
there's like
I
where
can
there
talk
was,
to it.
But I,
whenever you first got there was lots of people, and like almost like it was all scheduled. Whenever it happened, there was a lot less people, and there are a few people starting to walk up and try to see what's going on.
Did anyone other than the group see it attack me?
From what you saw, there's a couple people who were off on another dock that saw it happen and are kind of slowly walking up just to see what's going on.
Alright, was Clove actually injured in the attack?
No,
Okay.
she was kind of pushed behind Andronicus while Andronicus.
Okay.
I do want to double back off.
So
of what our new
Andronicus was
friend said.
injured, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
slightly.
Hold on, Clove
you
wanted
wanna-
to say something.
You want to
I
double
want to
back and what?
communicate to the group that this is very unusual that this guild symbol is on this person's head, just so people understand the gravity of the situation.
Going off of what
Either
T
way,
said,
success or fail.
should
What?
going off of what T said, do we want to talk to this thing? It's dead, but we can bring it back.
I would, I would say, that perhaps we wait for the authorities to arrive, and then we allow them their
I
investigation.
only have a
before we
minute to bring him
tamper.
back.
I got 3. This is a now or never.
I mean,
Captain?
really, I think that's going to be Clove's call.
Yeah?
Bring it back.
Captain,
Yeah?
Okay.
You want to cast or you want me to cast, T?
let
I'm gonna take this one, Hutch.
You got it.
Here we go.
I
Real
would
quick,
That's
say,
your stick. Do it.
am I able to, just for the safety's sake, stand on its chest with a knife to its throat, ready
You
to?
don't, you don't even
it'll-
have to do that. I got you. I got you.
Yeah, it'll be just barely alive. It'll have like 1 hit point.
Yeah. That's
So
go for it.
worst come to worst, we gotta just do it. Okay. So we
Andronicus
gotta drag this
and
over.
Hutch, be ready, on guard, in case there are others. And Kisar will
Oh,
pull out
Oh.
his rapier
Oh, wait,
and
wait,
point
wait.
it at the hollow of his throat.
Oh, I
Before
chose the
he-
wrong one. My bad.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
you're good. You're good.
Because, like, normally what you're rolling technically would be right, but we handle death a little different.
Okay, yeah.
No, the other one that you were going for, I think, is what you were. The other one of that level, I think, is what you were going for.
Yeah, actually, I can't drag this one off to roll Revivify, but is that just I have to just say it, or
Okay.
because it's a level 3
Um,
spell?
Todak walks over and sees what's going on, and knowing kind of vaguely the situation of, hey, we're kind of incognito, we don't really want to cause a ruckus just yet, reaches his hand down, and you notice as the head kind of lights up this faint bluish green color for just a little bit and starts to glow, and then travels down the arm and passes into the body of this person. And as you see them and the injuries kind of heal over in this really nasty way, but you walk over behind them and pick them up and put your arm around them, but your other hand is on one of your daggers and they have it in their side, and you're coming with us. And now they're walking with Andronicus in the group.
Honestly, I think Captain Rosemary here should ask the questions because all of this relates to her.
Okay, I just walk up and I'm like, who are you working for? Do you know who I am?
He kind of looks down at the dagger and goes,
Sorry.
Who gave you these marks?
you notice that his eyes get really shifty and he's like looking around, waiting, almost like he's waiting for something to happen.
Are they here?
He's non-responsive. Like he puts his head down and just.
Kisar steps in and grabs his throat with his claws and leans in, whispers in his ear. You will answer her questions, or you will die and be revived again. And it will happen until you are no longer capable of rational thought.
Roll an intimidation. After you kind of pick him up and he's walking away with you, everybody just kind of like, well, that was weird, and just kind of goes about their own business.
Plus 4, 22.
22. Okay. You see him just go. He doesn't say anything, but he's
Maybe he
very
can't speak.
agreeable.
Maybe
So-
he can't.
Are you mute?
When he opens, he opens his mouth to look and just kind of point, and somebody cut his
Comes
tongue out completely.
I say I got this. Tell me what to say to him. What do you want to know? I can talk to him. He might be able to speak, but I can talk to him.
Captain Rosemary, ask questions. You will hear his voice in your mind. You will respond to them.
Yeah. Who sent you? Do you know who I am?
I relay that through telepathy to the commoner.
What you hear back is a very raspy, tabaxi voice. Is Tiefling.
I lean over to
Can't hear.
to
He
Chloe.
had no name.
He says Keefly?
A tiefling. He gave no name.
A tiefling with no name. Can you describe him? Or her, or them?
From what I could tell, purple.
Purple tiefling, no name. Any noticeable markings, tattoos, anything that would make them stand out?
Where's
Male, female.
May 2 seconds for me to find what I'm looking for. Ooh,
Horns,
this.
no horns.
Aleka?
White hair, older men,
A tiefling with white hair, older man, some facial hair,
small goatee.
small
Folly?
goatee.
It sounds like your friend Paleka.
Bali, Malaka.
Kisar whispers a question real quick.
I don't.
Kisar looks at Hutch, but whispers, like, facing between them. Are you a part of this organization or a pawn in a greater game?
I just straight up ask him, were you hired to do this or were you forced to?
When you ask, he just opens his mouth and points to his tongue.
He was forced to do this, and he can't talk. I use a telepathy though. I'm talking his brain.
Right.
Are they nearby? Are they watching?
I'll relay it.
He just kind of shrugs and rubs his forehead again.
I don't think he knows.
Kisar will keep his hand on his throat, but retracts the claws.
How do they contact you?
Ooh, here we go. Everybody's looking at him, right? Everybody's.
I mean,
looking
I'm
at him.
talking to him. I have to be.
You're looking at him. Chloe's looking at him. Andronicus
got
is holding him. Kisar's holding him.
Can I look
Everybody's-
around?
okay.
Scan the area?
You're only looking around because
Because
he's
he
asking.
said something.
Yeah.
You're metagaming.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You gotta be honest. You know, you're not looking.
I'm not looking.
You all are very surprised. You don't hear a thunk. You don't hear a string. You don't hear anything. You just hear a crunch, and there's a bolt sticking out of his forehead, right on the middle of the sigil.
I laugh as I'm talking like, I can bring him back again.
He collapses on the ground.
I
Kisar wants to
immediately
look
see-
over his shoulder.
Everybody roll perception.
Can I go more investigation based if where he's being shot? Can I go off the trajectory and see if I can see where it came from?
Oh, that's clever.
Yep.
That's what I was gonna say. Honestly,
17.
If
Oh,
it's
I was
coming
gonna
from
try
him,
too.
I'll let you do
especially
investigation.
since he's
on
right
that.
here. All right. Can I use
I
my
gotta-
crime scene investigation one?
Yeah.
I got 17.
6.
I'm
17.
apparently stupid. I got a natural 1.
5.
I didn't see it.
9. 17. Okay.
All right.
Let's
Why
see what
are
Hutch
my
gets.
rolls going on here? Oh, I got a 14 the first roll, and it was in the thing, and it landed here,
Hang
and it
on.
didn't.
I have too many dice in this tray. Yeah.
I got a 1.
No,
Oh,
it was
geez.
actually a 12. I rolled a 13 plus 5. The first one was a
13
12. Yeah.
13 plus 5.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. As everybody kind of, as soon as he just thunk and drops, everybody just kind of just looking around. You take a second to think about the way he was standing and think about the bolt and the size of the bolt and would have been fired from. And you turn and look a specific direction just as you see the back of a cloak walk back into an alleyway.
I drop the body and say, as I'm taking off, to telepathy, is like, I saw this person that did this, and I just take off after it.
Okay.
Did I see him too?
No, he's the only one that saw it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a very high roll. Yeah, y'all are in chase right now. It's probably going to be a lot of those kinds of checks. You take off up to the facade of being these diplomats on this trade mission, or these traders here to broker, is just, it's up to y'all if you want to drop it and just take off. Or Hutch, since you're a bodyguard presenting, you can take off on your own, or you and Andronicus, or since
I took off.
Andronicus-
I'm after him. I'm in pursuit. It's up to them.
I would love to check my knowledge of my organization and what an assassin of that sort would probably do in training.
Of what sort?
Like in that scenario when you like drop a target, like
Mhm.
what your protocol would be. Like, would you return to the person who sent you, or is there like a central location? Like, how's that usually done?
Just knowledge on how the way your guild works. Once a target has been set and a contract has been accepted, that's the end of contact. There's a drop location later for the handoff of it, or not even the handoff. There's just a drop location later for payment. A few days to a few weeks after the assignment's complete, and that person just tries to disappear as quickly as possible
Okay, so they're just trying to disappear at this point.
because they know that, hey, they did their job. Whatever recompense they're getting down the road, they know where to go for it later, and they're in no rush to get it.
I'm going to use my communication to Hutch and say, dude, call me if you need backup, but I'm going to stay with Captain Rosemary just
Okay.
to be safe, because if
Do we
there's
see
one,
any?
one hit, 2 hit, there's probably 3.
But this is the thing, though. I want to communicate to the group, like, it seems like that person was the hit because they missed my hit. So I'm probably the original hit, so they might come back.
That's why I'm going to stay.
Have we seen any like town's guard come up yet, or has anyone?
There are people who are filtering back into the area, but it's almost like they had been paid to leave for a little while, or everybody, or not everybody, but the majority of people were elsewhere. Like it got really thin, and as this was going on, it starts to fill back up. But no town's guard.
I would message. Kisar will message Hutch. Kisar, he would not stray too far. This could be what they want. Pull us
So
off one at a time.
Hutch is off running on his own. Oh boy, Hutch, you run. You see this dude or this cloak kind of disappear into the alleyway. You take off after it while everybody else is continuing with the presentation of, we're traders and we're trying to protect these people. And
Let me know when
now
I'm
you're-
within 20 feet of this guy.
You are at the location that you last saw him. You were looking down an alleyway. There's buildings on both sides that get pretty tall. There's ropes, fabric clotheslines between them, and different windows open and things. It's probably 6 to 8 feet wide on this alleyway. What are you looking for? Are you running down the alleyway? Where are you going?
Do I see that cloaked figure, that cloak that I saw from the back?
From where you are right now, no.
As I'm running, I put the glasses on because I saw that cloak. I'm gonna scry on the cloak.
Ooh. Oh. Okay. Okay. It's gonna you're not super familiar with it, so it's going to be a pretty high roll on that. But yeah, okay, let's do this. You're running. You have the glasses on. You're shifting your focus. Roll a perception, and with the scrying, I'll give you. Let's make it a +4.
Did Hutch describe to us? He said tiefling. Did he describe it in any fashion?
I said tiefling. I said male. I said goatee, and
Purple.
his color
Purple.
purple.
Okay.
And white hair.
Yep. You said perception.
Yes. +4.
Okay. Hang on. 7, 11. 13.
What you see in your vision is kind of the chase scene and what you would see in movies, where one half of the screen is kind of the tailing of the person's cloak, and the other half of the screen is your normal vision looking at the alleyway. You see them scrambling up, and like you see the cloak kind of go through a window that's up off the ground a little ways into a building. From what you, based on the roll, you're not entirely sure where, but you know it's on the left side up ahead.
Can I, when I saw that, are there any anything that stand out as like there, I don't know, like a ladder or a plant or anything that's in there that's gonna kind of say, okay.
Sure. Roll an investigation.
My fancy investigation.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. 12 plus 2, 18. Or no, sorry,
18.
12 plus 5, 17.
17. You notice that the window sill is painted a very deep blue, and there's actually two pots with the very small one has a cactus kind of succulent on it, and the bigger one has some kind of herb, like a cooking herb in it.
Okay, I'm gonna look for that, and I'm gonna go through that window with my eyes peeled.
Like 20 feet down the alleyway, you find it, and with a small check, you can make your way in. Go ahead and roll an athletics for this one.
17 plus
That's
2.
Okay. You walk up, and it's just you put both hands and are able to pull yourself up and get in the window. Go ahead and roll perception for the scry. It'll be another +4 because you're a clever bastard.
9 plus 4 plus 2. So 9, 13, 14, 15.
Okay. The person had straight across from the window had kicked through the door and ran and jumped to the building across the street from there.
I want to relate from where I'm at and I'm running, knowing my space. Is there a way I can relay to them which way he went and the area that he's headed towards from where we started off running?
Yeah, so where y'all came in, Main Street's here, right? The alleyway was over here, and you've run down that way a little bit, and you're heading this way.
I messaged
So you can actually just have them
Andronicus.
kind of follow you on the docks, Main Street.
I send that straight to Andronicus.
Okay.
I jump on his back and we just go.
Riding him like a pony.
I follow.
Make an athletics, because that's a jump.
I'm jumping.
That's a
Oh,
jump.
boy.
If you're pursuing, you're running at the door that he had kicked down. You're running and jumping. When you came up the window, you actually saw the cloak land on the other side on one of the.
I still don't
little-
see him yet, or her.
No. When you pulled yourself up over the ledge, you saw the cloak go into the door on the other side of the street, across on the street on the other balcony.
I want to share with the group that I believe this is Valeka, and that used to be my contact and handler, but I'm not sure, just based upon the description.
Athletics?
Except for the cloak, you haven't noticed anything distinct about him. Yes, sir. Athletics.
That's an 8.
Oh wait, he didn't share with me that the purple skin or anything.
No, I said
No,
that
He
to
did.
everybody.
But that was about who hired him, not
That's
who
an
the.
8.
Okay.
The original guy that I killed.
No,
Um,
that's who hired him, not the person that Chambo's Hutch is chasing.
As you run and jump, you realize it's a lot further, and you're not quite sure how he made it. And you land on. Whenever you land on the street, you do a little roll. It's not high enough that you really take damage, but it's high enough that you kind of stumble a little bit.
Okay.
Who hired it
Um,
isn't the person that necessarily killed it.
If you want to, you can just charge into
Yeah,
the
I'm just
building and
gonna
keep
get up
going.
and book.
Okay. You
Hutch,
charge
have you
into the
found
building
him?
and keep going. Roll a perception again.
Working on it.
My friend, it might be best to come back, and then we can enlist the city guard.
Oh, this is a good one.
What
changing
was I
your-
rolling?
Perception +4.
Okay. 12 plus 3 plus 2. So 15 plus 5.
Whoa. So that's 20.
Yeah, it's a dirty 20.
Okay. That works. Of watching the perception, he's on a straight line. He's still going that way through the buildings as much as he can. He'll run out, or he'll run across the building and get to the window and kind of tuck and barrel through into the next window over if they're closed or if they're open. And you follow him for probably 3 more alleyways over before he comes down the stairs. He's maybe a building in front of you, and he comes down the stairs of that building and starts taking off back toward the port.
Is there any point in this time where I'm within 20 feet of him or no?
Roll in athletics to see how much ground you can make up, because this is pretty much just a straight sprint across this at this point. Like you're running building to building and just like busting through a door. into the next-
Athletics?
Yep.
19.
What are you trying to reach out with?
Just answer the question.
No. I'm just asking because
I'm not reaching out with
I think-
anything.
Okay, yeah, you're within 20 feet. You can't see him, but you're within 20 feet.
I cast sleep.
Okay. How does that work?
I roll a bunch of d8s, and if I roll more than his HP, he goes to sleep.
Not
But you have to
quite.
see him, don't you?
You have to have a line of sight on something.
Well, that's why he asked if it
That's why
was
if I'm
within
within
20
20
feet and he's running. Yeah, because he would have line of sight.
But he said you're
Oh.
within 20 feet, but you can't see him.
20 feet, you choose yourself as
Oh.
the point, or the door in front of you as the point. Like you cast sleep on the door of the next building, and then it over the 20-foot area, or over however big of an area.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. 20 feet that you can see of your choice are affected in descending order. Yeah, 20 feet of a point. Yeah, you could totally do that. Okay, roll it.
Okay.
Crap, how much HP is this guy going to have?
I don't know.
You remember you cast it at 3rd level, I think?
Yeah. I have to. I don't have a choice.
I mean, you're a warlock, so. So it's
Give me a minute, because this is a lot of dice.
98.
Is that with did you just do it with the, It's 8
That's
for the standard, and then plus 2d8 on top of it for level 2 and level 3.
5d8 for level 1, plus 2 for each level above, so it's 5 plus 4. 98.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I gotta roll one more after this. Seven, 14, 21, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 35, 36.
Whoa.
39.
39.
Or no, 36 plus 8. I'm sorry, 36 plus 8. So 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 1, 2, 3, 44.
44. Total?
Yeah.
Okay. You come. You pause for a second as you're busting through these doors and going alleyway to alleyway, just trailing this guy straight across these buildings. When you see him turn and go to head downstairs to leave the building and start heading back toward the port docks area, you stop. You bust the next door and then you stop and look at the door in front of you and point and let your sleep spell go. As you feel the energy leave you, and you hear a thud, and the thud. So after your pause, you barrel
Nice.
into the next door, and you look, and there's a small woman who's making breakfast or maybe lunch. You're not really sure. And tabaxi, and not great, like not really regally dressed or anything, but it didn't seem to be any kind of hurting for anything. It's a very nice house. Asleep in the kitchen. There's a small cut on one of her hands where she's bleeding, and there's a knife laying like this far from her head, just stuck into the floor.
Now, judging by where that is, am I able to tell if that's from a bow shot?
No. She was cutting something, and whenever the sleep spell hit,
so it didn't put the person out that I wanted.
Looking around the house and starting to head up. So the stairs come down and turn, and then come on down. I'm right in the middle of this flight of stairs. You see a body laying there underneath the cloak that you've been tracking.
I walk up, I put my knee on its back, I put my pistol to its head, and I radio and say, "I got her."
With a little bit of time and just kind of a little bit of direction of how far you went this way, how far you went that way, and the party shows up a little bit later, maybe 5 minutes, and the party's there just after.
Oh, Kisar's falling rock.
Oh, you're not going to?
No, I stayed with the body. I'm waiting for the city guard.
Okay. Yeah, it's not long. You're able to flag down somebody and be like, "I need a guard. There's been an attack on my person, and I'm such and such," and the guards come through eventually and collect the body and take your statement and everything, and they kind of just have fun trading and go on about their business. It doesn't seem like they're too upset about it. Like, it's a pretty busy place. It's not uncommon for stuff like this to happen.
Murder and adventure. Why not?
Murder and manslaughter.
Do I recognize this unconscious being?
We'll find out next week.
Oh, what the?
Man, that was super immersive now. Come on, brother.
Damn.
I'm hitting you virtually.
I know. But it's 10:30, and some of us have to be up for work tomorrow, and there's other stuff to go on and
Work
everything.
schmirk.
It's Jack.
And it's a great point to be like, I'm not telling you
Thank
yet. We'll
I
find out
think
next
I
week.
know. I
So, yeah.
think I know who it is.
See,
You did say it was a her, right?
you don't know yet. You just seen the cloak.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh shit! You didn't even look at the body.
DM didn't say.
Okay. I thought
How
he
do we know
said
if it's the right body then?
the cloak that I saw from the shot that was fired, that bolted.
All you know
Well,
is the cloak.
shit.
I gotta finish organizing my notes.
I'm gonna ask you how it buzzes us.
Well, for everybody out there in Twitch, thank you for being here. Thank you for the donation. All the follows and everything else that we've had tonight. That's amazing. Next week we'll find out who it was that shot the assassin. That sounds right. Who assassinated the assassin?
I murdered. I actually.
Assassin's assassin.
I was the first one to
True.
murder.
Who assassinated the
No.
assassin after the assassin was assassinated by Andronicus?
Andronicus.
And
You're
I
the
know
murderer.
who the assassin.
the assassin.
Assassin is.
The assassin's
Right.
assassin.
So we'll figure it out next week. But for now, for me, to everybody out there, thank you. Have a wonderful week. We will see y'all next Sunday at roughly 4 p.m. Pacific, and we love you.
Bye.
much.
Thanks again. You all are
Bye-bye.
awesome.